Score one for the home team. Talk to my team and I about big league savings for combining home and car coverage. Call me at 479-783-588.
Oh, maybe. He got that here.
Reporting Southside is here at 6.3 KZKZ Greenwood, Fort Smith.
Welcome back to Bernie Cox Field in Quigley State. Just about ready for kickoff. Catholic won the toss. They deferred to the second half, so Southside will start with the ball first, Bo. And again, you'd like to get off to a fast start just like last week.
Absolutely. Put them in a hole where they're the ones fighting and clawing to get back into the game. And I love taking the ball first, especially with Gatewood and Tyrese and Jordan Jackson, because we can score in a hurry. And, boy, if you take the ball in that first series, that's kind of demoralizing. It lets the other team know, especially in their house, that you came to play.
Again, just about waiting for the teams to come back on the field. Little Rock Central wears the all black jerseys with gold numbers. Southside in all white, Carolina blue, so not a big crowd tonight.
No. You know, it's an important game, but, yeah, not a lot of numbers on either side, really. And, of course, it's a long drive in the cold for Southside fans to make it here. But, you know, Central's one of those teams that in the 7A we talk about, they're kind of on the lower side scale of the admission enrollment, and they don't have a lot of guys over there. You know, we kind of talked about Catholic last week. On their sideline, you can shoot a cannon over there, wouldn't be able to see anybody. But a little more than that, but not that much more.
Yeah, it looks like on the other side maybe, I'm going to say 100 people on the other side,
Yeah,
maybe.
that's
And,
probably about right.
and on south side, looks like on their side maybe, let's call it 40.
40. I was going to say 30. But
Well, I'm kind of thinking maybe everybody's probably listening to the game on the
Yeah,
radio. They
they
get
must
the
be.
description. That's what it's got to be, no doubt. But, yeah, it's a long trip. The weather has changed. It's cold, and it's a bit rainy out here, too, tonight, so that could factor into the ball game. And
Well, it
you know.
finally feels like football. We're almost into November here, and it's finally a cool game. It's been so hot, you know, all through the season. It's kind of been a weird season.
which we're not complaining because we like the warm weather, but yeah, you're right. It seems like football weather tonight, and I'm really excited about this game again, Bo. I just think that I see the Southside team. The thing you look at a lot of times when you're struggling early, and you talked about the tough schedule, but there's also a factor where I call it don't let them go the rope. That's definitely what Southside has not done, and I think it's starting to pay dividends now. It kind of reminds me a bit of what we saw when with Conway last year. You know, Conway struggled a bit, and Bryant too, for that matter, really went a long way in the playoffs. Not saying that will happen, but I see a lot of good coming from this year.
Yeah, absolutely.
As Lawrence Central will kick off too, Southside back deep for the Mavs will be Ricardo Savoy along with Jordan Jackson back deep. Here's the kick. It's going to come down to Savoy at the 8-yard line. He crosses the 10 at the 15. He's at the 20. At the 25, he's hit the 25. Will fall forward to the Southside 26-yard line. That's where Southside will start their opening drive at the 26-yard line.
Savoy, I'd love to see him break another one. He wasn't able to get into the open field right then. Good coverage by the Tigers, but there's another kid that's really, really fast and really dangerous.
Yeah, we saw that, and what was really bad about Savoy against Bryant when he ran that one back was it was Travis had a chance to get him, and we saw like two different gears.
Yeah, he's got faster, and he got faster again.
Ours is slower, and then maybe a bit slower. We'll try to confuse him, but yeah, it was exciting watching that as he will start at running back for Southside. They'll go trip set, short side of the field, one receiver on the wide side of the field as Gatewood calls out signals. Takes a snap. He's going to keep it off the left side. Will cross the 25. Will get up to the 30-yard line. Will be a gain of 4 on the play. Making the play for the Central defense is the linebacker, Christian Wells, will bring up second down, 2nd and 6 for the Mavs.
And that's just a bread and butter read play. Gatewood faked it to Ulrich, or actually that was Savoy coming across, and then kept it up the middle. And I think that's an example of us trying to establish the run, and we'll see if we can set up something deep later on.
Central will line up in a 4-3 defense as Gatewood calls out signals, takes a snap. Here's a pitch to the pitch man. That's Tyrese Solomon. Read well by Central, getting him at the 30-yard line. Making the play is Antonio Brown. Now we're going to have a personal foul in the backfield. I think it's going to be on Central. And that's one that, like, Scotty Webster's got to have a – and they're going to call it on Southside.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't see who it was, but there were some extracurriculars going on in the backfield.
Yeah, there was a Nada back there for Southside. Looked like they were both going after it, and when I looked up, it looked like it was a Central guy getting the last blow in, which is usually what gets called, but it's going to be on Southside, and can't do that.
No, definitely not. It's coming up third down. You put yourself into a big hole right here.
He's 2nd and 16. Hopefully it'll be like last week, Bo. We kind of joked that Southside, no matter what the down or distance was, the further back they were, it got the speed guys in the game.
Absolutely.
Again, second down, second. Whether it's going to massive down, no, they'll go back to second down. Second down and 16 for Southside. Gatewood takes a snap, wants to throw the ball, throws it over the middle, going to be incomplete. In fact, it was almost intercepted over there. That was Zion Sane, who almost got the interception at the 25-yard line, brings up third down, 3rd and 16 for the Mavericks.
Yeah, it was a dangerous pass. He threw it low, and lucky it was just too low for the diving defender to catch. He wanted Jordan Jackson on a crossing route.
They're going to bring up third down for Southside. Bo, that penalty really kind of put them in a hole. You had second down, 2nd and 6, and you're still in a run-pass option right there. You get the penalty, puts you obviously in the passing situation on second and third down.
Well, and here's where you got to be careful too, because Central's a pretty good rush team. I think they have something like 16 sacks on the year, so that's a bunch. You got to be careful, and Gatewood's got to stay out of trouble. But that being said, we've seen him make some things happen too when defenders get in the backfield. So if he gets free, it could be trouble for the Tigers.
Gatewood looks to the sidelines to get the signals. I'm not sure what's going on out there. They went over and talked to the Central coaching staff about something. Now they'll start the clock up. 11 minutes to go here in the first quarter, no score. As Southside goes trip set wide side of the field, 2 receivers short side of the field. Gatewood along the backfield now, man in motion. That's Brendan Ulrich. Here's a snap to Gatewood. Here comes the pressure. It's a screen pass over the middle. It's completed at the 25. He's at the 30. Will be pulled out of bounds. That's Tyree Solomon at the 32-yard line. We'll bring up 4th down, 4th and 4 for Southside.
Well, that was a good play by Zion Zane, the defensive back, to push Tyrese out of bounds. He got close to the first down, just didn't get quite enough.
Adam Puckett will pop the ball away for Southside, stands back inside his own 20. Back deep will be Darrell Richardson. As Puckett waits on the snap. Here's a snap. It's a good snap. Gets the punt off. It's a high punt. It's going to land inside the 40-yard line and takes a backwards bounce to the 43-yard line. That's where Central will start their first drive. Other than that, at the 43-yard line.
Well, Central has a short field, so here's where our defense really needs to step up right here. See if we can force them into a 3 and out.
Kalen Holloway will be the tailback for. They really like to run an I formation. And the quarterback is Darrell Richardson. There's a little bit of confusion on the first play of the game for Central as they'll come up to the line of scrimmage. You got Richardson as your quarterback. They'll go with one back in the back, actually 2 backs in the backfield, a very unusual formation, 2 backs to the right, and here's a whistle, and that was destined for a penalty.
Yeah, the refs didn't like that formation either. He had a lot of people moving around.
Yeah, there was an interesting formation, Bo. They had, you had a tailback back there. It's going to be offsides on Southside.
Oh, come on. I don't know about that. I didn't see anybody jump off sides.
Well, I'll be honest with you, I didn't either. But that's 2 early mistakes by the Southside that you can't do. And it'll be 1st and 5 for Little Rock Central at the 48-yard line. As again, they'll have Richardson at quarterback. Holloway's your tailback. Holloway gets a handoff. He's hit at the line of scrimmage, and it's going to be driven back. Good job by the Maverick defense. It was getting off the power for Southside, leading the charge is Jeremiah Van Hook, along with Cam Belcher, will bring up 2nd down, 2nd and 5. And, Bo, that's where that penalty kind of comes in there. That's the same as a 5-yard gain.
Yeah, it really is. So it's just as if they'd gotten 5 yards on 1st down, but good job by the Maverick defense.
Richardson will work from the pistol formation. He'll have 3 in the backfield, 2 lined up behind each tackle. Here's a snap, hand off to Holloway. He's got a hole across the 50-yard line. Will be close to a 1st down. Making the play for Southside is Sam Wynn, along with Caleb Henderson. It'll be 3rd down, 3rd and 1 for Little Rock Central. But I got to ask you this, though. The key thing for Southside is don't give Central any confidence.
Right. This is a team that's struggling, so you don't want to let them move the ball on you early.
Richardson calls out signals. Again, has Holloway in the backfield, takes a snap, hands the ball off to Holloway. He's hit at the line of scrimmage, is going to fall forward, should have a 1st down. Actually, that was number 22. That was Tanner Barrett on the carry.
Needed a yard, and he got about 1.5 yards. And I'll tell you what, this defensive line of the Mavericks is playing well right now. I mean, I'm looking down the line when this Central Tiger offensive line fires off. They're not getting any push at all. So I think if we keep that up, we'll be in good shape throughout this game.
Just don't get those phantom offside penalties, and everything will be okay. Be 1st and 10 at the Southside 47-yard line for the Tigers. This time they'll go with 2 backs in the backfield with Richardson, your quarterback. Richardson takes a snap. He wants to run the ball. It's going to be hit and dropped. That's Dylan Matt making the play for the Southside defense. He's going to lose about a half a yard back to the 48-yard line. We'll bring up 2nd down, 2nd and 11.
Well, that was a really good job of reading the play by Wyatt. He faked the handoff, and I can't tell who came in and tackled the running back, but Wyatt stayed with it and tackled the quarterback. It was an excellent play.
Again, I'll bring up 2nd down, 2nd and 11 as Richardson calls out signals, takes a snap. It's a high snap. He pitches the ball up. It's on the ground, and they have him in the backfield. He gets away across the 50 down to the Southside 47-yard line. That was Kalen Holloway on the carry, and Bo, almost disaster for Central.
Yeah, it really was, and the Mavericks had a chance to really hit him for about a 5-yard loss. And the quarterback closing right there, I think he thought, I'm going to have a chance to pick up a fumble right here, and kind of missed the tackle, able to let them get it back to the line of scrimmage at least.
Yeah, it'll be 3rd down, 3rd and 10. This is what you want right here is they'll check another quarterback in the ball game. Checking in at quarterback is Jacob Howard. He's a 6'2" senior. Calls out signals, takes a snap. He wants to throw the ball, looks down the field. It's going to be a screen set up, and it's incomplete. Great job by Southside making the play for the Mavs and really interrupting the play as Huber and Ulrich was up there. And the intended receiver was Akaya Davis, and Davis would have been hit on the spot.
Yeah, he was not going anywhere. It's a good job by Hebron. You know, we've been talking about how good he's been playing, and he read that screen all the way. He probably could have jumped in front of it and got an interception, but he made sure that the kid catching it wasn't going to make a first down. So.
No, Jalen Coleman stand back as 11. But when you see a play like that, that's telling me right there that they're probably not going to try to stretch the field out passing the football, so maybe a little press coverage as the game goes on. Here's the punt by Little Rock Central. It's a low line drive punt that hits at the 20-yard line, gets inside the 20 down to the Southside 16-yard line. That's where the Mavs will start their 2nd drive of the night. We've got 7:51 to go here in the 1st quarter, no score.
Excellent series by the Mavs. They had a short field, only allowed 1 first down on that series and forced the Central Tigers to punt. So getting the ball back, now we need to put some first downs together and start moving this ball and flip the field back.
Well, Bo, the thing was, you know, if they hadn't got that personal foul penalty, it would have helped them right there. I think they were starting to establish a run early in the ball game, and they get that penalty, set them back. This time they'll go trip set wide side of the field. So we'll be in the backfield for Southside as Gatewood calls out signals, waits on the snap. Here's the snap. Gatewood wants to throw the ball, steps back, throws it over the middle. It'll be complete at the 33-yard line. Making the catch for Southside is Dylan Wright for the Southside first down.
Yeah, great to see him getting involved early. And I like that play on first down. We've been talking about establishing a run, and I think that's what the Tigers expected us to do. They were in a little soft zone coverage, able to get the slant pass across the middle.
Southside, Bo, Southside's getting a different look in there as they'll go with 2 backs in the backfield with Ulrich along with Savoy in the backfield with Tay Gatewood now. Ulrich goes in motion. Here's a quick pass out complete. That's Savoy across the 35. He's at the 40. Cuts it back inside across the 45. Will get up to the 49-yard line. Bo, I love that call. They brought Ulrich out of the backfield to the right. Looks like swing pass. They go to Savoy on the left.
Absolutely, and he had a man out in front. That was big Keith Turner leading the charge, and good patience shown by Savoy. Just putting his hand on his back and waiting, following his blocker. And, yeah, as you mentioned, excellent design play.
1st and 10 for the Mavs at the 49-yard line. 7:11 to go here in the 1st quarter, no score. Savoy lines up just to the left of Gatewood. Gatewood takes a snap, wants to throw the ball, looks down the field, is being pressured, is going to be sacked back at the 44-yard line, making the play defensively is Quentin Anderson. There'll be a loss of 6 on the play. It looked like Bo that he was stepping up in the pocket, almost got away, but Anderson makes a nice play.
Yeah, I thought when he stepped up in the pocket, there was a huge hole. There was nobody in the middle of the field. I thought he was about to run a long ways, and guy caught him from behind. That's not something you see very often. And he had time to throw. It wasn't like it was a guy was in the backfield immediately. Just good coverage by the Central secondary.
You see the quickness of these linemen for Central getting the pressure on. They've had pressure most of the night on Gatewood. Southside's really kind of gone with more of a screen pass type offense. Here's a keeper by Gatewood, crosses the 45, gets over the midfield down to the Central 47.5-yard line. We'll bring up 3rd down, 3rd and 8. Good run by Gatewood, puts them in a positive position.
Yeah, and they faked it to Ulrich on the jet sweep, coming to the near side of the field. And you know, Gatewood, he's such a quick guy, you'd think he wouldn't be able to break tackles, but he was dragging Central Tiger defenders with him the whole way on that play.
Be 3rd and 8 for the Mavs. The ball was spotted back at the 49-yard line. As Gatewood looks over the defense, calls out signals. Again, they go with 5 receivers out, no one in the backfield. Trip set wide side of the field, now man in motion, that's Savoy. Comes into the backfield as Gatewood takes a snap. He's going to throw the ball. It's going to be incomplete. And again, somebody's missing the block off that right side as they're getting a lot of pressure. I don't know if they were trying to set a screen up, but the screen here was not there.
No, I don't know what happened with the running back on that play. It looked like Gatewood was clearly expecting a screen. He threw a little soft pass over the oncoming defender's head to where he thought his running back was B, and he just wasn't there.
So Adam Puckett will check in the ball game as Antonio Westbrook drops back inside his 25-yard line. Puckett stands back at his own 37-yard line. It's a good snap, gets the punt off. It's a high punt that's going to land inside the 25-yard line, takes a Maverick bounce down to the 20-yard line, be down there at the 20-yard line. That's where Little Central will start their second drive at the 20-yard line. One thing, though, at least Southside's kind of changing field position.
Yeah, they absolutely did. They did kind of what they needed to do. They got a couple of first downs, at least got some positive yardage. You know, the drive faltered a little bit, but now they've got Central back on their own side of the field. So if we can play some defense right here, get a 3 and out, we should get the ball back in good field position.
And checking back into the ball game will be Jacob Howard at quarterback. Saw him in the last play of the last series. Your tailback again, Keelan Holloway, here's a snap handoff to Holloway off the left side. He's going to get across the 25 up to about the 26-yard line. Making the play for the Southside defense is Bennett Windell.
That was just a good power run off tackle on the left side by the Tigers. Something we've kind of had trouble with all year.
He's second down, 2nd and 4 for the Tigers. Again, Howard, your quarterback. Holloway, your tailback. Here's a pass out, complete at the 25-yard line. He's at the 30, has a blocker out in front, crosses the 35-yard line, will be run out of bounds. Making the catch over there is Chance Murray.
Well, the Central wide receiver did a great job blocking our cornerback on that play. They threw it out to the flats. And you had one guy with the ball and the one blocker and one defender. So the numbers were in Central's favor right there. If you're that cornerback, you got to come up and stick that block and don't let them push you out of the way.
Be 1st and 10 for Central at their own 36-yard line. Be a 3rd play of the drive. As Howard's in the backfield by himself, takes a snap, looks to his right, throws the ball over the middle, has a wide open receiver, goes to his hands at about the 40-yard line, intended for Nicalia Davis, but bring up 2nd down, 2nd and 10. Bo, he was wide open.
He was. We dodged a bullet, and the quarterback threw it behind him. If he'd have threw it out in front of him, he'd have caught the ball in stride. It'd been a foot race.
And Bo, interesting formation. You've got a backup quarterback in there, and they go empty backfield.
How you trust your backups? You got to. It's what they're there for.
Again, Howard calls out signals. Southside looks like they may want to blitz this time. Here's handoff to Holloway. Is going to get up to the 30-yard line. Drives forward across the 30 up to about the 42-yard line. Be a gain of 6 on the play. Brings up 3rd down, 3rd and 4. But they've got to get a little bit lower right there. Making a play for the Southside defense is Rashid Morris is over there leading the charge for the Mavs.
Yeah, you got to just get down there and start churning those legs. Keelan Holloway drug about 4 Maverick defenders. We had a chance to stop him for about a 1-yard gain, and it turned into 6.
Be 3rd down, 3rd and 4. Big play here for the Mav defense as Howard calls out signals, throws a quick slant pass complete across midfield. He's inside the 40, he's inside the 35, he's the 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown, Miss Darrell Richardson.
Well, that was just a simple slant play. You had one-on-one coverage, caught the ball and missed a tackle. We were kind of chasing the receiver when he caught the ball and kind of hit his legs and bounced off of him. And after that, there was no safety help. It was off to the races.
I'm trying to figure out what's going on. The referees are picking up a flag about something.
I don't. It's at the goal line. I don't know what's going on down there.
Maybe it'll be a celebration penalty. We'll see what happens. Trying to get to know. I can't see. It's kind of hard to see some of these Central numbers right now, and I can't tell what the number of the kicker is. The holder is the young man that scored the touchdown, Donald Richardson. As I try to tack on the extra point here. The ball is down. Your kick is up. Kick is good. We've got 4:01 to go here in the first quarter. Lower Central lead Southside 7-zip. We're back with a Tiger kickoff after this. This is Southside Mother Football, Sport 106.3.
Largemouth bass tearing at your bait, mallard circling above. Dawn breaking through your tree stand, it's the outdoors that you love. Tackle boxes, hunting and fishing gear, for what you love to do.
Hey Keith, you're a little hot. If you could turn your mic down just a little bit, that'd be great.
Oh, test not one, Mr. Hall. Okay. How's that sound?
Head to the tackle box.
It'll work for now.
Okay, I'll pull this away a little bit, see if that helps.
Tackle box today at 646-3193.
Welcome back. That was a 6-play, 80-yard drive for the Central Tigers, culminating with a 58-yard touchdown pass from Jacob Howard to Donald Richardson. And, Bo, that was just too easy.
Yeah, it was. And when we talked about how important it was to limit big plays for these Tigers and how quick they were, and they just showed us right there. So we got to come back and answer right now.
Again, 4:01 to go here. Southside trails 7-zip. This will be a third possession of the Mavs here in the first half. Here's the kick, comes to Savoy at the 11-yard line. Crosses the 20, goes right to left. Now we'll cut inside across the 25 up to the 29-yard line. That's where Southside will start their drive, the 29-yard line.
18-yard return by the man.
That was a short kick. I thought Savoy was going to have a chance, but just give these Tigers credit. Their kickoff coverage has been pretty good.
Tops on the tackle for the Tigers.
Big kicker for Central is a young sophomore. That Santiago Alonso is the kicker. Be first and 10 Mavs at their own 29-yard line. They trail 7-zip here in the first quarter. And Bo, the thing is, if you got a backup quarterback in there, and they've kind of shown that they're going to throw they're not afraid to throw the ball.
That's exactly right. So we're going to have to treat him just like he's a starter.
Gatewood calls out signals, now has a man in motion here as they hand off to Savoy. He cuts it back inside, crosses the 30-yard line. Excuse me, that's Ulrich on the carry. Gets up to the 34-yard line, gain of 5 on the play, brings up second down, 2nd and 5 for the Mavs.
Yeah, it's a good run by Ulrich. He hit the hole hard. There was just enough of a crease for him to get in there and make a man miss, make some positive yardage.
Again, 3:28 to go here. Southside trails 7-zip here in the first quarter as Ulrich will be your tailback. They'll go with Leighton Johnson at fullback. They'll go strong left this time, now man in motion. That's Jordan Jackson. Here's a snap. Here's a handoff to Ulrich off the left side. Crosses the 35-yard line, will be close to the first down at the 38-yard line. Going to be maybe about, let's call it about a half a yard short.
Yeah, he's running tough in there too. He got hit, kept those legs churning, got an extra yard or two.
That was Zion Singh that came up making the play from his safety position. It'll be third down, 3rd and 1 for the Mavs. Again, they'll go strong left this time with Leighton Jackson. Lines up at fullback with Ulrich at tailback. As Gatewood looks to the sidelines to get the play, we've got 9 seconds on the play clock. Gatewood takes a snap, hands the ball off to Ulrich, who's hit in the backfield. He's not going to have the first down. He's going to be about a yard short. Making the play defensively is Caleb Morton, inside linebacker, makes the play. Will bring up 4th down as he loses a yard on the play. And
well, that was a huge play for the Tigers. They kind of knew what was coming. They had a run blitz on. They had every lineman and linebacker stunting the gaps. And, you know, they knew what they were fixing to do. They were going to run Ulrich right up the middle again, and they were ready for it.
Puckett again will punt the ball away for Southside. They've had 3 series so far, Bo, and we've had, I believe, 2 first downs in 3 series. Not a good start for the Mavs offensively, especially compared to last week's onslaught. Here's a snap to Puckett. Here comes the punt. He gets a nice punt off again. It's going to land at the 30-yard line. We'll go inside the 25 down, right at the 25. That's where they'll down the ball at the 25-yard line. That's where Central will start their third drive, and they lead 7-zip here early. And so far, a bit sluggish start for the Southside Mavericks.
Yeah, I think they're on maybe a little bit of a hangover from that big win over Catholic last week. This is not the same team we saw last week. Maybe it's the cold weather slowing them down or something. I don't know, but they need to step it up right here.
I got the big mystery question of the night. Where did the Central band go? When it rained, they leave?
They said, we're out of here. I don't know. I don't see them over there.
Again, Jacob Howard, your quarterback. Keelan Holloway, your running back. Holloway gets a handoff off the left side. Boy, he is driven down. What a tackle over there for Southside. That's Dylan Wright, another big play. And Dylan White saying, hey, Spirit 106.3, I'm offensive player of the game last week. How about defense this week?
I mean, this kid has been pressed into service for the injured Mason Gregory, and he's playing tough out there.
Be second down, second 9. But that's a big play. You need that because you come out sluggish like this, and you need someone to step up and make some big plays, and that was a nice one-on-one tackle by Mr. Dylan White.
Absolutely. This kid's a great receiver. I didn't know he could tackle that good. That was a hard hit.
Howard takes a snap. He wants to throw the ball, throws an inside slant. Should be a penalty on that as there was contact. He'll get up to 35-yard and has a first down, but Bo blocking when the ball was in the air.
The ball was in the air. Not supposed to be able to do that, but no flags out there. And, you know, we talked about that earlier. They were able to make a big play just a few minutes ago, throwing it out to the flat with the lead blocker, wide receiver. So that's something we're going to have to adjust for.
Yeah, Southside may want to stick another man out there when they see him line up like that. You're exactly right. It's just a quick pass out there. You get the lead blocker out there with a little bit of interference, and they're big gains. They'll take the ball deep down the field this time, and it was a stop and go play, a miscommunication between Howard and his receiver. Will go incomplete, brings up second down, second and 10 for the Tigers.
Yeah, he stopped, but he didn't go after that. The ball was way overthrown. He was.
Well, the scary thing was he stopped, then he went, and the Southside defender stopped and didn't go. So it's a good thing he was overthrown on that. They'll bring up second down, second and 10. Jacob Howard came in the last play of the first series, has really stepped it up for Little Central. This time they go with a trip set wide side of the field, and Southside jumped in the neutral zone again.
Yeah. I mean, it's a free 5 yards. You just can't do that. You got him in second and long. Just making it too easy on them.
Be second down, second and 5 for the Tigers. Again, they come up the line of scrimmage, trip set wide side of the field. Howard calls out signals, has Holloway in the backfield. Will throw a quick slant pass. Intercepted, well dropped. D.D. Smith had the interception, and team receiver over there was, again, Darrell Richardson. And Richardson was open on the play. He just can't make the catch, and then D.D. Smith had a chance to make a big play for the Mavs. It goes incomplete.
Yeah, that's when you're a defensive back. Those are the ones you like. They hit the receiver's hands and pop up, and they're just waiting for you to catch them. And you know, that's why D.D. plays defense.
That's why he's a D-back.
That's right.
Bring up third down, third and 5. This is a big play early here for the Mav defense. I say big plays. They're down 7-0 in the first quarter. No backs in the backfield as Howard takes a snap. Here comes the pressure. He's going to run. He's going to be sacked in the backfield. Great job back there. Cam Belcher on an inside blitz gets him back at the 32-yard line. Will bring up fourth down. Forcing the punt here for the Tigers.
The thing I love about that play, he ran him down from behind, stayed with it, but the thing that was really impressive is he tried to knock the ball loose when he tackled him. He came around with that offhand. Wasn't able to cause the fumble, but he was definitely trying to and still made a great tackle.
Ty Barrett will punt the ball away for the Tigers. Stands back at his own 20-yard line. Jalen coming back deep for Southside. They get the punt off. It's a low-line drive punt, going to be fair caught. No, he takes it without a fair catch at the 35-yard line. Cuts across the field. He's at the 40-yard line. Now will go back across the field at the 35, 33-yard line. Will be hit and dropped up the 38-yard line. Now running for about 2 yards. At the end of the first quarter, Southside trails 7-0. We'll be back with the start of the second quarter after this. This is Southside Maverick Football, Sport 106.3.
First and 10 for the Maverick section.
Hey, give a minute. Hello, Ron.
Yes, sir.
I can't believe we didn't clip.
No kidding.
That's the end of the first quarter. Your score, Southside Maverick 0, Central High Tigers 7.
He knows Barry White.
They utilize the latest technological advances in the field of orthodontics to ensure that you receive the most effective care possible. UDodge Orthodontics, 782-3021. Go Mavericks!
Hal's Homemade Beef Jerky is known around the country for fresh and delicious homemade beef jerky. For over 25 years, Hal's Homemade Beef Jerky has been offering a variety of spices and flavors to dress your beef jerky
Trying to stay warm.
your taste buds and is the perfect choice for homemade food lovers. Stop by their store in Shady Point, Oklahoma and get a free $5 bag when you spend $20.
A fast first quarter.
Yeah.
HomeMadeJerky.com. Call 918-635-5759. Now accepting EBT.
Welcome back as we start the second quarter. Southside will have first and 10 at their own 39-yard line. And Barrow, it was a sluggish, first quarter for Southside. Several penalties and gave up a big play to give Central the early lead.
Yeah, a couple of offside penalties and a personal foul. They're playing sloppy this week.
Gatewood will lead us down the line of scrimmage. They'll go 2 receivers wide side of the field, 2 backs in the backfield. That's Dolan at fullback. Here's a pass going to be one hop to Mason Love at the 44-yard line, and that'll bring up second down, 2nd and 10. But one thing I think they're really struggling with here early is the central pass rush.
Yeah, we talked about that earlier. Central's got a good defensive line. They love to rush the passer, and they sent everybody up the middle there and kind of pushed our offensive line back into Gatewood's face and forced them to throw it short.
And that'll bring up second down, 2nd and 10 for Southside. As they look to the side to get the signals, there's 13 on the play clock. Is going to have to hurry this one quick, down to 7 on the play clock as Gatewood calls out signals, has 2 back in the backfield. Now man in motion, that's Mason Love. Here's a snap. Gatewood wants to throw the ball, throws the ball down the field, has an open receiver, that's Tyree Solomon, and Solomon drops the football inside the 35-yard line, about the 32-yard line.
Well, that's something you don't see very often. Tyrese is pretty sure-handed. You got to give Tay Gatewood a lot of credit. He got hit right in the mouth on that one and stood in there and delivered a perfectly thrown ball to hit Tyrese right in the numbers, and that's one that I know Tyrese wishes he had back. You don't see him dropping very often. That was a well-thrown ball.
I'll bring up 3rd down, 3rd and 10 for the Mavericks. Need to get something going here, Bo, as we only have 2 first-half first downs. Good job here early by the Central defense. As Gatewood calls out signals, takes a snap, rolls to his right, throws the ball. It's going to be complete at the 45. He's at midfield. That's Mason Love, gets into Central territory at the 45-yard line, where Antonio Brown will get him down at the 45. That's a big play. But I think that's what they're going to have to do. They may have to roll Gatewood out to give him some free space just because of what you just said.
Absolutely, and that's what I was just about to say. I like what they did there. They rolled him out, give him a little room to throw the ball, and he was able to find his receiver, Mason Love, and keep the chains moving.
1st and 10, the Central 45-yard line for the Maps. Here's a keeper by Gatewood. Will try to push it outside, gets across the 45, maybe to about the 40. Well, I'm marking him at the 44-yard line. Bring up second down, 2nd and 9 for the Mavs. Yeah, Gatewood did a good job just getting yards that time. He was going to try to take it up the middle.
Yeah.
Nothing was there. He bounces it outside and tries to outrun the corner and gets a yard on the play. As Ulrich checks in the backfield for Southside, again, they'll go with the 2 backs, Ulrich along with Savoy.
Well, they're putting together a nice little drive here, and hopefully they'll keep it going.
As they go trip set right side of the field, now man in motion. Here's a snap, and Gatewood wants to throw it. Ball has an open receiver. That's Savoy at the 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown Southside.
Great job, great play call. It was the wheel route with the running back out of the backfield, and Gatewood once again throws a great ball, hits him right on the money. He catches it streaking down the sideline, and as we saw a couple weeks ago against Bryan, if Savoy gets ahead of steam, you're not going to catch him.
So Kyle Rebels will check in for the extra point for Southside. And Bo, you talked about that too. We were talking about that earlier. They were trying to swing off one side, bring Ulrich out, draw the defense, and then bring Savoy out the other side. That time he's able to get outside. Now here's the extra point attempt. Rebels kicks it, and it's good. 11:25 to go here in the second quarter. All time at the 7th, back to the Maverick kickoff after this. This is Southside Maverick football, Spear 106.3.
11 minutes and 25 seconds remaining
Get excited about the most important meal of the day, the Egg and I restaurant. The Egg and I serves up delicious, fresh, cooked-to-order breakfast, brunch, and lunch entrees, all in a friendly, clean atmosphere. You'll love their healthy choices and fresh juices so much.
Had to buy a lot of halftime, I'm afraid.
Club loyalty card to earn free meals and
I think
coupons,
so.
or plan your next meeting in their meeting room. So now that you're egg-cited, make plans to visit the Egg and I restaurant at 3801 Planters Road. Call 242-3447. Open 7 days a week from 7 a.m. to 2:30 p.m.
Welcome back. That was a 5-play, 61-yard drive for the Mavericks, culminating with a 44-yard touchdown pass from Tay Gatewood to Ricardo Savoy. And Bo, that's just what the doctor ordered right there for Southside.
Absolutely. They needed to answer. Central got a long pass play for a touchdown, and then they swap punts, and then we come back with our own pass play. So brought it to even 7-7. Now we got to play a little defense.
Connor Rebels will kick the ball away for Southside. Back deep will be Antonio Brown, stands at his own 10-yard line. Also back deep, I think that may be Jeb Sullivan back there. I can't really see the number. Oh, excuse me, it's number 18. I'm sorry, Chance May back deep. May along with Brown. As Rebels approaches the football, here's the kick. It's a short kick, going to land at the 40-yard line and bounces around, and He gets out of the pack at the 40, at the 45-yard line at midfield at the Southside 48-yard line. That is Zion Sane to pick the ball up. And, Bo, when you kick the ball like that, is that almost like kicking the coverage right there?
Yeah, a little bit. They tried a little, it wasn't necessarily an onside kick. It was just kind of a little pooch kick that they wanted to hope Central was going to mishandle and they get a chance to jump on it. And, I'd almost rather go just a traditional onside kick if you're going to do that, because you're probably going to end up with not much different field position if you don't get the ball back.
Again, Jacob Howard, your quarterback. He'll have Keelan Holloway in the backfield. And Southside jumps in the neutral zone for a third time tonight.
Keith, I don't know what to say. You just, it's the 8th game of the year. You gotta be a little more disciplined than that. Stay on your own side of the ball.
Well, what I'm teaching to do is maybe look at the center and see where the football's at, and then move on the center rotation. And yeah, you just can't do that. That's just mistakes you can't make right there. Be first and 5 for Central now at the Southside 43-yard line. Howard does kind of a head bob, quick count, so they figured out something to get Southside offsides as Holloway's in the backfield along with Howard. Howard wants to throw the ball, looks down the field, now rolls left, still looks down the field, tries to get his man down the field, and throw it deep down the field. That's Brown, and it's going to be incomplete. Really good coverage over there, Bo. That was D.D. Smith on the coverage for Southside, and stride for stride with Brown. And I'll tell you what, Howard may not have played a lot of quarterback this year, but he did a really good job of directing Brown down the field, getting to run down the field, and really put the ball there, but a nice play by D.D. Smith.
Yeah, it really was, and Howard, he was being chased by Martez Gaston, still delivered a good ball, but D.D. turned and broke it up at just the right moment.
Be second down, 2nd and 5 as the Central Bun comes back out.
Right.
Here's a handoff. Now, quick pass is going to be incomplete, overthrown, intended receiver, intended over there for Dejan Brewer, bring up 3rd down, 3rd and 5. But this is where you wish you had those 5 yards right here, because you could do pretty much what they want to do right now. Again, it's a little bit longer, but 3rd and 10 sounds a lot better than 3rd and 5. I did my math before I got here.
Absolutely. Well, they were going for that little pass out to the flats, and Howard just overthrew him, threw it over his head off to the sideline.
Howard calls out signals, now looks to the sideline to get the play as Central comes with 2 receivers either side of the field, 1 back in the backfield. That's Holloway. Here's a snap. They hand off to Holloway. He's going to get the first down inside the Southside 40 down to the Southside 35-yard line.
Well, that was a good play. It was just a good job by the Central Tiger offensive line, making a big hole in there for Holloway to pick his way up the middle.
Be first and 10 at the 35-yard line for Little Rock Central. And Bo, they need to stop here. You answered with the touchdown drive. You don't want to give it right back. But Southside, short kick, a nice return, and then you get the 5-yard penalty. Really has put Central in good position here as Howard takes a snap. He wants to throw the ball. Now he'll keep the ball. They'll try to get outside. He's going to run out of bounds at about the 35-yard line. No gain on the play brings up 2nd down, 2nd 10 for the Tigers.
Good job by the Maverick defense pressuring Howard. They got him out of the pocket very quickly. He didn't have a chance to get comfortable and able to run him out to the sideline.
They'll bring up 2nd down, 2nd and 10. Be a big series for the Maverick defense if they can get a stop here, Bo.
Absolutely. We need it. We can get a stop, hold them to either no points or a field goal try. Get the ball back.
This time they'll go trip set wide side of the field. Howard works pistol formation, takes a snap. He throws the ball over the middle. Going to be complete at the 25-yard line. Bo, they had a chance to get an interception there. That was Jalen Coleman. And Richardson on the catch for Little Rock Central will be right at the 25-yard line. And let's see, I believe they haven't signaled first down yet.
Tell you what, that was a good throw and catch too. He put that right on the money, and the receiver just kind of snatched it out of midair away from Coleman's hands.
You sure he's not the
quarterback? He may be after this game.
It'll be 3rd down, 3rd and about a half a yard at the Southside 25-yard line. This will be the 6th play of the drive. It started on the 48-yard line. Now Central is going to take a timeout. With that timeout, we'll take 1-2. This is Southside Maverick football on Spirit 106.3.
All offers with approved credit. See dealer
I'll do a minute.
Rock and Randola here, Crane
Is that
Hyundai
too
on
cold
Zero
for you?
Street in Fort Smith. And you know what Crane Hyundai
I can't
on
see
Zero
with
Street
this
has
down.
that the
Outside,
other
so
dealers
it's better
don't
to
have?
see
The
it.
Crane
And you
commitment.
get a
That's
little
right.
crowd noise, you will
100,000
sample
mile
band.
warranty on every new and pre-owned vehicle sold. It's 100% low price
The
guarantee
mystery
and
is solved.
100-hour love it or leave it exchange
I guess they
policy.
didn't want to get
And
their
Hyundai
uniforms
Assurance.
wet.
Is it wet?
Plus,
Yeah.
Crane
Instruments.
Hyundai lets you shop over
Yeah.
1,500 pre-owned cars, trucks,
I wonder
vans,
if
and
Piper had to
SUVs.
move his
If you're even
equipment. He had all
thinking
his
about a
stuff sitting
vehicle, you
outside.
need to think Crane Hyundai Zero Street in Fort Smith.
South 28 Boutique is your source for local and authentic
Hey,
labels
what
such
are
as the
these?
complete Warren James collection, Southern
We had a
Tide,
space
and
heater up here
Rustic
one
Cup.
time.
They offer tailgating hogwear for the entire family and menswear. Join their VIP texting to earn points for savings on the labels you love. And
The fish was
t-shirts
this
always
big.
get 10% off the total purchase price. Download the South 28 app and save 20% off any one item with free shipping. Located at 418 North Plaza Drive, Van Buren. Call or text 719-2019.
If you recognize that sound, you'll love what you hear next. There's a new Bow Pro Shop available at Van Buren. Pin
Sorry about that.
Archery. Pinpoint
Third down
Archery
and
is
one
where you
for
can
the
put
Tigers.
your shot together. Get professional help ranging
We'll
from
go
sight
after this.
string
Okay.
installation to refletching your favorite arrows. Find arrows, bows, and accessories, targets, free advice, indoor shooting range, and more. Visit pinpointarchery.com for additional information or stop by 604 South 4th Street in Van Buren. But hurry, because archery season starts soon.
Welcome back as we get back to action. They hand the ball off to Tanner Barrett, who checks in the ball game. Will have the first down across the 25-yard line. Good pursuit by the Southside defense, Bo, but it was third, and that fish was about 12 inches.
Yeah, it was not quite a yard, and Cam Belcher met him right in the hole and stopped him, but he didn't have hardly far to go at all.
Jacob Howard calls out signals, wants to throw the ball, looks down the field, throws it over the middle, going to be incomplete. Had two receivers really running in the same pattern. And I'm laughing down there because I see number 15, this Dejan Brewer. He's open after the play's dead, and I'm thinking, well, you weren't open at the time, son. But
Right, no sense in throwing your hands up at that point.
yeah, so they'll bring up second down, 2nd and 10. Looked like maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern as they had two receivers within 5 yards of each other.
Yeah, I think the inside receiver, they wanted a little shallower of a crossing route, and then the far receiver on the post, and they just got a little bit too close together.
They'll bring up second down, 2nd and 10 for the Tigers as Howard calls out signals, takes a snap. He hands it off to his running back, Holloway, who crosses the 25, gets down to the 19. And Holloway is a good hard runner, keeps those legs moving and runs low. He lowers that head, and Southside's going to have defensively. He's getting maybe, I would say, almost every carry, he's getting maybe 2 to 3 yards after contact.
Oh, yeah, and I would say 4 or 5 on that one. They hit him right in the hole, and he just kept driving. And it looked like those 5 yards were all Mr. Holloway.
Be third down, 3rd and 5 for the Tigers as Howard looks to the sideline to get the signals. 11 seconds on the play clock. He has Holloway just to the right. Howard takes a snap, wants to throw the ball. Here goes the throw. It's going to be complete, and the receiver gets away. He's at the 10, at the 9-yard line. The Southside had him in the backfield. Again, that was Chance May over there. Had him back there at about the 18-yard line, and again, a missed tackle later. It's first and goal at the 9.
Yeah, your safety had a chance really to make the play for a loss, and you just got to make tackles. Coach talked about that in the opener, how good they tackled last week, and you miss one right there, it's the difference between third down and first down.
Be first and goal at the 9-yard line for Central. Howard takes a snap, hands the ball off to Holloway off the left side. He's going to be hit and dropped at about the 7-yard line. For Southside, getting off the bottom of the pile, trying to get the number there. That was Martez Gaston making the play for Southside, and Gaston did a good job of getting him down, Bo.
Yeah, he did. As soon as he hit him, he just drug him down. Gaston, we talked about how skinny he is, but he's strong. He's a big kid.
Be second down, 2nd and goal for the Tigers. They'll go 2 receivers split wide side of the field as Howard takes a snap, hands the ball off to Holloway up the middle, gets inside the 5, touchdown.
Well, just another inside run. Good blocking by the Central Tiger offensive line. There's a big hole there. And that was he did make a couple guys miss, but he had plenty of running room in there.
Santiago Alonso will be in for the extra point. And Bo, again, that was just a couple of missed tackles. They had a chance to. Kyle Central's hand had the receiver in the backfield before they got the first and goal and couldn't make this. Several missed tackles on this drive. Here's the extra point. It's up. And it's good. 8:10 to go here in the second quarter. Southside trails 14-7. We'll be back with the central kickoff after this. This is Southside Maury Football on Sport 106.3.
Keelan Baker is good with 8 minutes and 0 seconds remaining in the second quarter.
Shelter Insurance
Your
does the same for
score,
you.
Maverick
Roadside
7,
assistance is now
Tigers
included with your auto policy.
14.
So if your car leaves you stranded, just call.
You like that, don't you?
Take care of you while you take care of what's most important. Find an agent at shelterinsurance.com. We're your shield, we're your shelter. Some restrictions apply.
For details, see Chris Dooley in Fort Smith.
Welcome back. There was a 8-play, 48-yard drive for Little Rock Central, culminating with a 7-yard touchdown run by Keelan Holloway and Bo. You get a couple penalties. We have great field position. A couple of missed tackles later. We're down 7.
Yeah, and you got to go back to that little pooch kick. I mean, put them in such good field position. They had the ball on your side of the field. And, you know, I know your defense played really well last week, but that puts them in a tough position.
Alonzo will kick the ball off for Little Rock Central. Back deep for Southside. Again will be Ricardo Savoy along with Jordan Jackson. Here's a short kick. It's going to be caught at the 30-yard line. He's going to get across the 35. That's Mason Love. Gets across the 40-yard line. And I'm kind of mystified by these short kicks.
Yeah, I mean, the wind's blowing here. You saw that one. They had a holder there because it wouldn't stay on the tee, so that could be part of it. But
it's a good job by Mason Love.
Yeah, absolutely. Fielding it and then getting upfield for about 10 or 12 yards. So, I mean, yeah, good job just handling it, number one, and then making positive yardage. And now we have good field position. We got to take advantage of it.
Got to keep scoring right here. Southside trails 14-7, 8:03 to go here in the second quarter. As Gatewood leads his team onto the field, and Bo, we really haven't seen our big play guys get loose yet. Either Jordan Jackson, I think Solomon has one catch in the first half. Jordan Jackson, no catches here so far. Southside goes with Ulrich in the backfield along with Leighton Johnson. They go strong left this time. Here's a handoff to Ulrich. Ulrich crosses the 45, breaks a tackle up to the 47-yard line. Will gain 7 on the play, brings up second down, 2nd and 3 for the Mavericks.
Well, I like the play call. I love getting seven yards on it. I mean, Ulrich, he's been getting 5 yards a pop really on that inside run. And now he's stretching it out to 7, so hopefully he'll break one here in a minute.
Second down and 3.
Bring up second and 3 for the Mavericks. Again, we've got 7:35 to go here in the second quarter. Southside trails 14-7. As Gatewood looks to the sidelines to get the signals.
2nd and 3, I think you take a shot down the field right here.
Southside goes strong right this time with Ulrich in the backfield, man in motion. That's Mason Love. Here's a snap. Here's a pass play for Gatewood. Throws it over the middle to Tyree Solomon, and it's incomplete. And looks like, I don't know if the defender got a hand in there or if Solomon dropped another pass, but that play was open.
Yeah, it was open for a second. Defender closed on him pretty quick. Looked like he got there right at the same time the ball did. So, you know, they're running away from us. They're backwards to us, so we couldn't really tell if the defender got a hand in there, but I'm thinking he did, the way that ball kind of flew out.
Yeah, that was
basket.
Avon Harris back there deep, and they've got the open receivers, and really Gatewood's done a good job of getting the ball where it needs to be, and I think you're right, maybe he closed and made the play there at the last second. Again, it'll be 3rd down, 3rd and 3 for the Mavericks at their own 47-yard line. Here's a quick slant pass over the middle, going to be complete to Tyree Solomon at the 45-yard line. Great pitch and catch right there as Zion Sane makes the play just about one step behind on there for Little Rock Central. Big first down for the Mavericks.
Yeah, Central's blitzing a linebacker in that play, so you had to move the field open. Solomon took advantage of it, Solomon and Gatewood, and you know, that's the play. We see Solomon line up in the slot and run that little slant play. They've done it 100 times so far this year, and it's a go-to bread and butter for them.
Be 1st and 10 at the Central 45-yard line. Gatewood calls out signals, takes a snap, wants to throw the ball again, throws the ball to the sideline. Going to be incomplete over there. It's going to be dropped on the play by Jordan Jackson, and he gets tackled for his misery over there. We'll bring up 2nd down, 2nd 10.
Yeah, it wasn't really a well-thrown ball. Kind of hung up in the air and was off target and gave the defender plenty of time to get over there.
Well, the interesting thing, Bo, is I'm looking out there, and the wind's not really blowing now. We saw the kick by Central. They had someone hold the ball, but it's kind of swirling wind when it does, but the opposite end, there's no wind at all. A little bit down at this end is a 2nd down, 2nd 10 for the Mavericks. Here's a snap, a keeper by Gatewood up the middle, has a hole across the 45. He's at the 40, he's at the 35. Will drive forward down to the 31-yard line where he's tackled over by Steve Smith. Will be another Southside first down. Great run by Tay Gatewood.
Yes, made several Tiger defenders miss right there. Second and long, needed 10 yards, and Gatewood got, 12, 13 on that one. That was a great play. He was just, he just gets an open field. He's quick. He's hard to bring down for one person.
Gatewood showing a lot of good field vision, too, out there. Just picking those holes and finding what you can get. First and 10 Mavs at the 31-yard line of Central. Savoy checks in the backfield. They'll go with Leighton Johnson, strong ride at fullback. Here's a handoff to Savoy. Has a nice block. He's inside the 25, gets inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. And give credit to a great run by Ricardo Savoy, but give credit to Leighton Johnson with the lead block.
Absolutely, and I thought Savoy was going to break one. It looked like he was going to come out of the pile there and have nothing but open field, but one Central defender was hanging on to him. He couldn't get away.
Be first and 10 for the Mavs at the 18-yard line. 6:08 to go here. Southside trails 14-7 here in the second quarter as Savoy lines up along with Leighton Johnson in the backfield. They give it off to Savoy off the right side. Big hole across the 15. Fights his way down, gets away down to the 10, and will be knocked out of bounds. Great individual effort by Ricardo Savoy as DJ Ferris knocks him out of bounds.
Well, once again, you had Leighton Johnson leading the charge, and this is something we really haven't seen the Mavericks do. They're bringing him in as a fullback, but he kind of lines up, off the line about a yard, and they started him on the left, brought him in motion to the right, and then snapped the ball and ran behind him. So, good play call.
Yeah, it's a 10-yard gain, be first and goal. Now, what they're doing, David, looks like, too, is they'll line up. We'll talk after this play. Here's a snap, a handoff to Savoy again. Gets inside the 5, down to the 3, gets to the end zone. Will be just close to the end zone right at the 1-yard line. What they're doing different is a lot of times they will put the fullback on one side, run the opposite way. This time they're following Leighton Johnson through the hole.
You're exactly right, and he's been proven to be a good blocker these last couple of plays.
His second goal at the 1-yard line for Southside as Gatewood calls out signals, has Johnson in the backfield, an interesting formation here, and it will be a quarterback keeper by Gatewood. Touchdown Southside.
Great job. A good keeper by Gatewood, and I love what this offensive line is doing. They're moving the pile. Well, that was a late signal by the ref coach, keeping us in suspense. I mean, it looked clear to us up here. He was about a yard into the end zone, but they never would throw their hands up. All the Southside players had their hands up, but I mean, this offensive line is playing great right now. It seems like they're just pushing the Central Tigers back on each play.
Yeah, and give credit to Leighton Johnson.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, we talk about the big ugly sometime, and not saying he's a big ugly by any means, but they do the dirty work, and he did it that drive for Southside. Great running, too, by Savoy.
Yes, very tough running.
Carl Robles checks in for the extra point. Ball is down. Your kick is up. And it's good. 5:15 to go here in the first half. Right half at 14. Be back with the Maverick kickoff off this. This is Southside Maverick football Sport 106.3.
Hi, this is Art Haynes from the Chiefs Radio Network here for Play It Again Sports at 2817 South Zero Street in Fort Smith. Play It Again supports the Southside Mavericks. Mention this ad and receive 20% off your purchase that day of any new or used sporting equipment. They carry baseball, football, wrestling, disc golf, golf, and fitness equipment. Bring in your quality used gear for additional savings. That's Play It Again Sports, 2817 South Zero. Proud supporter of Southside.
Welcome back. There was a 7-play, 60-yard drive for the Mavericks to tie the ball game up, culminating with a 1-yard touchdown run by Tay Gatewood. Ball couple of key plays in that drive was the completed pass to Mason Love to get a first down on third down, and then it was the running of Ricardo Savoy and the blocking of Leighton Johnson for the touchdown.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's a two. I think twice Mason Love has kept a drive alive with a catch on third down, and then Savoy just running tough. I mean, running straight up the middle, and it looks like the Maverick offensive line, they're finally finding their groove in this game.
Good to see him running the football. That opened up some later passing options. Here's a kick by Robles. He'll kick it deep this time. Will come down to the receiver at the 20-yard line. He tries to get outside, but he's going to be hit in the backfield and dropped at the 18-yard line. Great job by the Mavs over there. I think that's Bennett Wandell making the play for the Southside special teams. On the return was Antonio Westbrook, and this will be Central's worst field position the night. They're starting around the 18-yard line.
Well, it was a short kick. It landed caught the ball about the 15-yard line, and great job by the Maverick coverage team because he only made a couple of yards before he was hit and dropped.
Well, this is a series here that they can make a statement. You got a big points to tie the game up, get a hold here, get the ball back, get some points going, leading at halftime as Howard calls out signals. Now we've got a whistle on the play. I didn't see an offsides.
No, but we'll see what's going on here. They're not giving any signal. I don't know if something about the ball wasn't set or what. It looks like an official timeout.
Well, these officials, we saw it on the Southside touchdown. They're just kind of in slow motion.
Cold weather's getting to them, too.
Yeah. They'll spot the ball, be back at the 19-yard line as Howard calls out signals, takes a snap, hands the ball. Now he's going to throw a quick slant pass out, and goes quick to the sideline. And he's going to be hit at the 20-yard line. Good job by the Mavericks over there getting over. That's Dylan White again making the play for the Southside defense, along with Cameron Boucher. And that's what you need right there. That was Chance Murray on the catch. But the key thing is get over there, get the pursuit, and don't give them a chance to have any running room.
Absolutely. They tried that same play they've run successfully a couple times where they throw it out to the flats with a lead defender, and the inside linebacker and your safety close very quickly to make the play.
2nd and 8 for the Tigers. Howard calls out signals, takes a snap, and now we've got, this should be a penalty on Central. Looked like we had some movement on the offensive line. Of course, we thought that earlier, too, and it was an offsides on the south side. And this will actually be the first penalty on the Tigers tonight.
You're right.
5-yard penalty, make it 2nd and 13.
And this is huge right here, Keith. You don't want them to have a long, sustained drive, eat off this last 4.5 minutes of the clock, and then get the ball back out of half. So if we can stop them right here, we get the ball back with a short field, and we can score going into half. That's going to be big for the rest of this game.
That's big, considering they've gone ahead 7 twice on us right now.
Yes.
Jacob Howard, your quarterback, has done a very good job for Little Rock Central. Keelan Holloway, your tailback, as they'll go trip set wide side of the field. Howard takes a snap, wants to throw the ball, looks down the field. It's going to be incomplete. Throws it just a bit short, intended over there for Donald Richardson to bring up 3rd down. And pretty good catch for Southside over there. We had Ryan Tucker along with D.D. Smith over there for Southside, and the ball goes incomplete. And I'll tell you what, though, Howard, to be a backup quarterback, really has a pretty good feel for the game.
Yeah, he does. I mean, that play, it was open for just a second. It was thrown a little outside, but, I mean, you see this guy, you don't feel bad at all with him at the quarterback position. You trust him.
Howard takes a snap, wants to throw the ball, throws it out complete. That's to Murray at the 20. He's going to be hit and driven out of bounds. Good job. There's Bennett Wandell over there for Southside, along with, I believe that's Huber and Ulrich making the play for the Southside defense. Will bring up 4th down. Great job, Maverick defense.
Good job. That's exactly what you needed, a 3 and out. Stop them. You're going to get the ball back, hopefully in really good field position, so you give your offense a chance to score right here before the half. And
Tom Barrett will check in to punt the ball away for Central. Stands back at his 10-yard line. Jalen Coleman right at midfield for the Southside Mavericks. And Will Barrett has had some low kicks, so you might call if he drops the snap, gets a kick off. It's going to hit at the Southside 47-yard line. Will bounce inside Southside territory at the 41-yard line. And normally I'd say you need to try and catch the ball out there, but I think Coleman did a good job of stepping away from it.
Yeah, I mean, he could have fair caught it. You don't want to try to make anything happen and make a mistake. But, I'd rather let it hit and bounce than, try to do something crazy and end up fumbling the ball.
And that's kind of what it's been with the Central punter so far. Barrett really, Purvis done a good job getting air under the ball, but Barrett has kicked the ball, and it looks like a quail or something going down. It's got such a spin on it.
Yeah.
1st and 10 Southside. They'll start this drive at their own 41-yard line. You got Heber and Ulrich in the backfield, along with Leighton Johnson. Here's a snap to Gatewood. Hands the ball off. That is Ulrich, crosses the 45. Will get up to about the 47-yard line, a gain of 6 on the play. And that play looked like it had a chance to get some really big yardage, but closing quickly for Lower Central is Caleb Morton. They'll bring up 2nd down, 2nd and 4 for the Mavericks.
Yeah, he was picking his way through the hole, and it looks like he got tripped up. It's one of those when you're running, somebody grabs an ankle, and you just go down really quick.
That's almost kind of one you'd like to have seen Savoy maybe on the carry on that one, because with that speed, maybe he gets out in front. But nonetheless, 2nd down, 2nd and 4 for Southside. Here's the snap. Here's a handoff to Ulrich off the left side. Will have a 1st down as he crosses midfield. Will get to the Central 49-yard line. Going to be close. I'm going to call it. Well, marking it on the far side. Well, he was going to mark it at the 49.5, and now we're going to mark it at the 49. We'll do a 1st down. So
I'll tell you what, when you can run for 6 or 7 yards on the first play, then it makes that 2nd down so easy, and just you can do so much with it.
Southside, a different attack this week, Bo. It's been more of a running attack as opposed to last week's aerial assault. It'll be 1st and 10 Southside at Central 49-yard line. Here's a snap. Gatewood wants to throw the ball, looks down the field, throws it over the middle. Has Jordan Jackson, and boy, there could have been interference on that one as he was grabbed on the play.
I mean, he didn't have a chance, Keith. The safety, or excuse me, the cornerback jumped on his back and wrapped his arms around him before the ball even got there. I don't see how you don't throw a flag on that.
27, Avant Harris for the Tigers.
I'm gonna have to.
What was interesting about that play, too, was Jackson was really the only man in the route.
Yeah, it was like a one-man pattern, and they had the corner, you know, he had beaten the corner. The safety come over and helped, and the corner caught up and jumped on him.
They'll bring up second down for Southside, 2nd and 10. They'll have Savoy in the backfield along with Gatewood, now man in motion. That's Leighton Jackson working from fullback. Here's a handoff to Savoy off the right side. He's at the 40-yard line, 35, at the 30. Is tripped up at the 25-yard line, making a shoestring tackle is Jonathan Jones. And boy, I love the call. What they did, they had Leighton Johnson split in the slot, Barney back at fullback. He gets the inside block to clear Savoy to the outside.
Yeah, it was just, I won't say it was a crack block, but he blocked inside and sprung Savoy around the end, and there was a lot of green grass. But you're right, there was a lot of moving pieces before that ball was snapped. I think it confused the Tigers. Confused me a little bit.
Be 1st and 10 Southside at the 25-yard line. Here's Johnson out in the slot. Now he comes in motion again in the slot this time. A handoff to Savoy up the middle. He'll get maybe 2 on the play.
Well, I tell you what, he only got 2 on that, but I like that play because they're sticking with the run game, and they're kind of, I mean, this Maverick offensive line is just sort of imposing their will on the central defensive line right now. And, you know, Leighton Johnson, I mean, he's been in almost every play leading the charge, and this kid, you know, where has he been all year? This guy, he can really block.
Yeah, and he'll be probably one of your linebackers next year for Southside. This young man's got a big future with the Mavs. They're going to be second down, 2nd and 7 for Southside. As Gatewood looks to the sidelines, there's 8 on the play clock, 1:22 on the game clock here in the first half. Here's handoff again to Savoy. Is going to get down to about the 25-yard line with 1:15 on the clock. They'll bring up 3rd down, 3rd and about 5 for the Mavs. And
Tackle made by number 98.
well, they got Southside and Central both listed with 1 timeout. I don't think anybody's taking that many timeouts, and now Southside will take a timeout. With that timeout, we'll take one too. So Southside now with football, Spirit 106.3. I'll do a minute.
I figured you'd say that.
I'm burning them both.
Good call.
Now we got 3 and 2 timeouts. He woke up.
Yeah, I'm going to have to throw in a legal here, too.
Okay. Oh, Prince.
Trailer Honda, 3200 South
Big 69
Fort
down there.
Smith has been serving the River Valley for decades. A quality At Trailer Honda Stocknet, your home for Portsmouth Southside football is Spirit 106.3, KZKZ, Greenwood, Fort Smith.
Welcome back to Quigley Stadium. There'll be a 3rd down, 3rd and 5 for the Mavs at the central 20-yard line, all tied up at 14 here. A good drive for Southside. Started this drive on their own 41-yard line. This will be the 7th play of the drive as they will go with Gatewood at quarterback and Warwick in the backfield. Here's a snap, and it's a keeper by Gatewood up the middle. He's at the 15, he's at the 10, cuts back inside the 5, down to the down line, down to the 2-yard line. Great run by Tay Gatewood. On the tackle is Joseph Lewis to be 1st and goal for the Mavs. And if I'm the Mavs, Bo, 56 seconds on the clock, I'm holding up right here.
Yeah, take a few seconds off the clock. That way you don't give Central any time at all. They still have all their timeouts, so they've got time to work with. But Gatewood, I mean, he was pounding the ground after that. He wanted the end zone. They stopped him just short.
He 1st and goal at the 2-yard line. Here's a snap. Gatewood keeps it off the left side. He's going to be in the end zone. Touchdown, Southside.
Nice play. I mean, I can't say enough about how good this Maverick offensive line is playing right now. They're just making huge holes there for Gatewood to run through and for Savoy to run through. And that just, I mean, they're playing great right now. They're really imposing their will on the Central defense. So, you know, that's going to, I think, play really into our hands at the end of the game as this Central defense starts to get tired.
Yes, sir. As Carl Ruggles will check in for the extra point. This is Southside's first lead of the night as they're ahead now 20-14. Mason Love on the hold, ball is down, kick is up, and it's partially blocked over there, no good. Southside now leads 20-14. We'll do it the hard way, Bo. We're back with the Maverick kickoff after this. It's Southside Maverick Football, Spirit 106.3.
River Valley Truck Outfitters has served western Arkansas and the River Valley area with a commitment to quality and excellence unmatched in the truck accessories industry. Whether you need step bars, grill guards, diesel performance products, camper shells, or wheels and tires, shop at the store you can depend on. River Valley Truck Outfitters, Highway 71 south atop Rye Hill in Fort Smith. River Valley Truck Outfitters, where quality and customer service is always number one.
Welcome back. There was a 7-play, 59-yard drive culminating with a 2-yard touchdown run by Tay Gatewood and Bo. What was impressive about that drive, it was just all runs.
All runs, absolutely. They sort of, I don't want to say that they've abandoned the pass game, but they've had some trouble. They've had some drops, and, you know, they kind of went back to their bread and butter at the first of the year, and that's Ricardo Savoy. I mean, this kid is fast, and he's tough. He's a tough runner, and I like it in this cold weather.
Connor Robles will kick off for Southside. 38 seconds before half as Southside now leads 20-14. Here's a kick by Robles. Kicks it deep down the field. It's going to hit at the 5 and go into the end zone. Will be a touchback. Ball will come out to the 20, and that's very effective right there. Good job by Connor Robles.
Yeah, good job. Good kick. Eliminates any possibility for a run back, so they have to have a long field. They get no extra yardage. They got 38 seconds, so that's a long ways to go. Like I mentioned earlier, they got 3 timeouts, but still not much time and long.
Yeah, you kind of think they may just try to just work the clock here. If you hit kind of like the Southside philosophy most times here at the half, if you hit a big play, yeah, I'm going to go into the 2-minute offense, but if I don't hit one, I'm just going to let the clock run.
Yeah.
Jacob Howard, your quarterback, has had a really good first half for the Central Tigers. Central comes out with 2 receivers wide side of the field, 1 back in the backfield. That's Keelan Holloway. As Howard waits on the snap, now he looks to the sideline to get the play. He's going to change the play at the line of scrimmage. Takes a snap. He's going to hand the ball off to Holloway, who's going to be hit by Hilburn Ulrich at the 25. Will drive across the 25 up to about the 27-yard line. Down to 28 seconds on the clock here in the first half.
And you're right, Keith. I think that's what they're going to do. They're going to be content to run the ball here and not let anything bad happen and go until the halftime down by 6.
Howard takes a snap. Here's a handoff to Holloway. Not much of a hole there. Crosses the 30, gets up to about the Central 34-yard line, where he's brought down leading the charge for the Southside defense. Is Travis Chaffee making the play for Southside. Will bring up 1st and 10. We're down to 8 seconds on the clock. Looks like Warwick Central is going to be happy to go in at the half, down 20-14, as they will go off the field. And Bo, as the first half, definitely where you got to be pleased to be ahead at halftime after the sluggish start by the Mavericks.
Well, it just, I mean, it's a tale of 2 games. You look back at what they did last week, and you know, they were throwing the ball all over the field, and 4 touchdowns, and all. Come back this week against Central, and they're not playing. I don't want to say they're not playing good. They're playing hard. They're playing tough. But you know, Central is not. They're not giving us anything easy.
We're back to talk about the first half after this using Southside Maverick Football, Sport 106.3. Hey, Clay, do 3 minutes.
Are you enjoying the football game tonight?
Yeah, absolutely.
How would you like to be sitting in the warm, relaxing, and highly beneficial swirling waters of your own hot spring spa? A spa can be both relaxing and fun, and a great end to an exhilarating football game. So hurry into Burton Pools and Spas at 6121 South Zero. They'll check out the great deals on pools and spas. Burton Pools and Spas. Let them show you how to get your feet wet without getting in over your head.
Tonight's Southside Maverick football game is being brought to you in part by La Huerta Grill. La Huerta serves the best Mexican food anywhere. Enjoy mouth-watering fajitas with all the fixings for just $7.99. La Huerta Grill's lunch specials are perfect if you're in a hurry. Only $3.99 for the Speedy Gonzales. Open Saturday through Thursday, 11 to 9. Fridays, 11 to 10. La Huerta Grill, located on the corner of Old Greenwood Road and South Gary. A proud sponsor of Southside Maverick football.
First National Bank of Fort Smith has been committed to the community and their customers for a very long time. In fact, since 1872. You might say a few things have changed since then, but a couple of things at First National Bank have remained the same for the last 145 years. First National Bank is still locally owned, with local decisions, so they know that their commitment continues. They're proud of the past, and excited about the future. First National Bank of Fort Smith, member FDIC.
Tyler Wilson here for Crabtree RV in Alma. Football season is here, and whether you're tailgating with the Razorbacks or enjoying the great outdoors, Crabtree can help you experience the natural state. Our giant indoor showroom makes shopping enjoyable with hundreds to choose from. You're sure to find the right RV for any budget. Like the 2018 KZ Sportsman fifth wheel starting at $245 a month, or the 2018 Coachman Freedom Express as low as $210 a month. We're behind the Cracker Barrel in Alma, Crabtree RV, where your family's dreams come true.
Now is the time to schedule your vehicle's annual fall checkup with W&W Automotive. From oil changes to cooling systems, brakes, hoses, and more, let Mark Wakefield and the boys at W&W Automotive get your vehicle ready for the daily routine of back-to-school driving. Drop by the corner of Towson Avenue and South O in Fort Smith, or call 242-1600. W&W Automotive, a bumper-to-bumper certified shop.
Last commercial.
The what? Remember, I told you my dad's a shelter agent. When that phone rings, he
Y'all
rushes
ready?
out to save the day.
Well, I am. Keith's
Whether
almost
someone's
back in the
home or
booth, so
car gets
no big
damaged,
deal.
my dad
Okay.
is always there to help. He has the coolest job ever.
I can play another commercial if you want.
That's cool
No,
too.
it's all right.
I guess.
Alrighty.
Find your insurance superhero at shelterinsurance.com.
Ask Shelter Insurance Agent Chris Dooley about a free insurance review.
Welcome back to Quigley Stadium. We're at the half. Southside leads 2014. Ball good first half for the Mavs.
Yeah, it really was. I mean, it was a struggle. It's been a tough first half, as we talked about earlier. It's a lot colder than we've been playing in. Coach mentioned that in the pregame. Sometimes that makes your team play a little weird. Just kind of a weird deal. I think Tyrese has had maybe one or two catches. Jordan Jackson, I'm trying to think if he's had a catch yet. I can't remember him catching one. But really, we've done all our work on the ground, and we've done it tough, and we've done it gritty, but we've gotten the job done as we're leading at half.
But what you mentioned about running the ball, it's going to roll on circular at the half.
Yeah, it really is, Keith. You know, as this game wears on, I mean, we don't have, obviously, the time of possession numbers, but I know that we've had the ball a lot more than they have. We've run a lot more plays. We've had some long, sustained drives. So you got to figure that's going to bode well for the Mavericks as this game wears on. And as you talked about earlier, you know, keeping the ball on the ground, eventually that's going to open up something in the passing game, and we're going to probably maybe go back to our bread and butter the second half and find something through the air.
I don't know about kind of like the combination we've seen the two running backs, Brendan Ulrich along with Ricardo Savoy, plus Leighton Johnson as a lead back.
Yeah, I mean, it's power football. It's really fun to watch. You know, we love to see them throw it around the yard, but, you know, when you can see your team just kind of dominating the other team's defense, firing off, pushing them off the line of scrimmage, you see your lead fullback coming through there, clearing space out. I mean, that's fun to watch. You see these guys, and I know it's fun for the offensive line to block that way. And, you know, Ricardo Savoy, this is a guy we talked about last week. You know, he didn't really get involved too much in the game, so I know that he's enjoying it right now, and he's running tough. And, you know, Ulrich, he always runs tough too, so I know these guys are having fun.
You know, it was a nice finish by Southside, too. We talked about early struggles in the first half, all the penalties you give at the big play early in the ball game, but Southside really has kind of arrived the ship here in the second quarter.
Yeah, they have. You know, they came out and scored first, and, you know, we've seen us get into a hole early sometimes this year, throughout the year, and had to fight our way back, but we came back and answered, tied it up. They scored again. We came back and answered, tied it up again, 14-14, and you look at, you know, at how they did it. It's been you know, they played pretty well on defense, held them 14 points, and they've had a couple long plays through the air, but other than that, the Southside defense has held up well.
Again, at the half, Southside leads 2014. Be back with the night scoring summary after this. Southside Maverick football on Sport 106.3.
Tyler Wilson.
I do three.
Football season is here.
Absolutely.
Tailgating with the Razorbacks or enjoying the great outdoors, Crabtree can help you experience the natural state. Our giant indoor showroom makes shopping enjoyable with hundreds to choose from. You're sure to find the right RV for any budget. Like the 2018 KZ Sportsman fifth wheel starting at $245 a month. Or the
We'll do this, and we'll come back for another short one. We'll try to burn some here at half.
We're behind the Cracker Barrel in Alma, Crabtree
Sounds good.
RV, where your family's dreams come true.
Office with approved good to see dealer details. Hail Rocket Ran
Amendola here, Crane Hyundai on Zero Street in Fort Smith. And you know what Crane Hyundai on Zero Street has that the other dealers don't have? The Crane Commitment. That's right, a 100,000-mile warranty on every new and pre-owned vehicle sold. It's a 100% low price guarantee and a 100-hour love it or leave it exchange policy. And Hyundai Assurance. Plus, Crane Hyundai lets you shop over 1,500 pre-owned cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs. If you're even thinking about a vehicle, you need to think Crane Hyundai Zero Street in Fort Smith.
South 28 Boutique is your source for local and authentic labels such as the complete Warren James collection, Southern Tide, and Rustic Cup. They offer tailgating hogwear for the entire family and menswear. Join their VIP texting to earn points for savings on the labels you love. And teachers always get 10% off the total purchase price. Download the South 28 app and save 20% off any one item with free shipping. Located at 418 North Plaza Drive, Van Buren. Call or text 719-2019.
Hey Maverick fans, this is Ethan Gamble, your local State Farm agent. Every team knows that the two-point play can be a winning move. That's why at my State Farm agency, my team and I are here to help you go for two by combining your home and auto insurance. It's a great call that saves you time and money. So go for the win and score savings by combining your home and auto. It's just another way we're here to help life go right. Call me at 479-783-2588 today.
Let's see. Leaky faucet Tuesday. Water flooding the yard. Better put that down for the middle of the month when the bills aren't due.
Honey, what are you doing?
Planning our plumbing problems, of course.
You can't plan our plumbing problems, but you should plan our plumber.
What do you mean?
Like all important contacts, I keep our plumbing in my phone. They're always there when we need them, and they don't overcharge, so they know we don't plan our plumbing problems. Here, honey, here's their number.
Where's that guy from earlier?
Thanks, babe.
Westart Plumbing. Keep you flowing.
I know Steve Brown is.
Commercial. What you hear next? There's a new bow pro shop available at
Let me handle this.
Pinpoint Archery. Pinpoint Archery is where you can get your shop together. Get professional help ranging from sight string installation to refletching your favorite arrows. Find arrows, bows, and accessories, targets, free advice, indoor shooting range, and more. Visit pinpointarchery.com for additional information or stop by 604 South 4th Street in Van Buren. But hurry, because archery season starts soon.
Again, at the half, Southside leads 20-14. As we look at the first half scoring summary tonight, it was a slow start for the Mavs, Bo, as they had three and outs to start the ball game. But Little Rock Central's able to strike early on their second possession. They take over in their own 20-yard line. They go, it's a 5-play, 80-yard drive, culminating with the big play of the night, a 58-yard touchdown pass from Jacob Howard to Donald Richardson.
Yeah, and there was nothing complicated about it. Really just a little slant pass, and caught the ball in stride and was able to kind of, the cornerback was right there in coverage, kind of able to take it away from him and break one.
Southside gets the ball back. They're held on downs, punt the ball back to Central. Southside holds Central, and that was a big point in the ball game right there, Bo. With the 7-zip lead, a chance to increase the lead. The Southside defense steps up, gets a hold. Southside gets the ball back on their own 39-yard line. This time it's a 5-play, 61-yard drive for the Mavericks, culminating with a 44-yard touchdown pass from Tay Gatewood to Ricardo Savoy.
Yeah, you got to give the Southside defense a lot of credit. Southside did what you don't want to do after the other team scores. They went 3 and out, but then the defense stepped up big and forced Central to go 3 and out. And gave us the ball back, pretty good field position, had it on our own 39, and then Savoy caught the ball out of the backfield for a big gain.
And by that play that Savoy caught, we talked about that in the first half. They brought him out of the right side, but that was a play where they had both running backs in there, Brendan Ulrich along with Savoy, and they actually brought Ulrich out off the left side in motion, making it look like it was just going to be a swing pass out to the running back. They turn around, go the other way. Savoy's open, touchdown.
You're exactly right. They brought Ulrich off to the left and kind of blocked everything that direction, made the Tigers think everything was going that way, and then they forgot about Savoy on this side, and he was streaking down the sideline, and as we've seen Gatewood do so many times, delivered a perfect pass to him.
Central gets the ball back, all tied up at 7. This time they get the ball on the Southside 48-yard line. It's a short kickoff. A nice return by Zion Sane. They start this drive at the Southside 48-yard line. Immediately on the drive, Southside gets their third offsides penalty of the night, which helped with the drive, and then we had a couple of missed tackles later. Central's able to drive down and go 48 yards on 8 plays, culminating with a 7-yard touchdown run by Keelan Holloway.
Yeah, it just was a bad series really for the Mavs. From the start, they tried to pooch kick, and I don't know if he was supposed to kick it a little deeper or it was not as deep, but he kicked it about 15, 20 yards. It was just out of reach for the Mav defenders trying to get up there and make a play, and it wasn't far enough that the defenders could get down there and make a tackle, and so it set them up with great field position on our side of the ball. Our side of the field, excuse me. And then, of course, as you mentioned, we start off with an offsides penalty to give them a free 5 yards, and then, as you said, just a bunch of missed tackles on that drive. They didn't really do anything fancy. They just had a short field and kind of ran it up the gut and was able to find the end zone.
Southside gets the ball back on 40-yard line, and this time it's a 7-play, 60-yard drive for the Mavs to get the touchdown, ending with a 1-yard touchdown run by Tay Gatewood. But really the key to the drive was I go to 2 plays on third and 9, a 15-yard completion from Tay Gatewood to Mason Love. But I thought the real point of the drive, and we saw this late in the first half, was the combination, the hard running of Ricardo Savoy with the blocking of Leighton Johnson.
Absolutely. That was fun to watch, and as the first half wore on, you could kind of see the Maverick offensive line taking over and really asserting their will down there. And with Leighton Johnson, as you mentioned, this kid's got a bright future. He's probably going to be a starting linebacker next year, but he's been playing great at fullback. He's just clearing out space in there, and Savoy's running right behind him, and it's fun to watch.
And Southside steps up and gets a big hold on Central. They're on 19-yard line. They're forced to punt 3 and out. Southside takes over and they're on 41-yard line. This time it's a 7-play, 59-yard drive for the Mavs for the touchdown, a 2-yard touchdown run by Tay Gatewood. Again, what was interesting about this drive, Bo, it was all running plays, really Savoy along with Ulrich.
Yeah, absolutely. Mavericks found something they really liked on that previous drive, and then they came right back to it and just really ran it down the Tigers' throat, and there was nothing they could do to stop us. And Gatewood had a really nice run up the middle where he took it down to the 1-yard line, and then they gave it right back to him, and he punched it in.
And on the extra point was partially blocked, so our halftime score is 20-14. Be back with more after this. It's on Southside Maverick Football on Spirit 106.3.
Floyd Trailer Honda, 3200 South Zero Street in Fort Smith has been
3 minutes?
Yeah, go 3.
quality
I figured.
product and a commitment to customer service is what keeps people coming back. And Floyd Trailer Honda is a proud supporter of Fort Smith Southside Athletics. Stop in today. See the new Hondas arriving daily at Floyd Trailer.
Are y'all coming back to the game after this?
Zero Street, Fort Smith. Visit them online at trailerhonda.net.
Hey, I don't know if you could tell, but I just got back from running those bleachers. I couldn't catch my breath this last segment. I'm sitting here wheezing, huffing and puffing. Whew, I'm going to have to get on the treadmill. It's ridiculous.
Are y'all going to be coming back to the game after this break?
Still got 6 minutes, so no, probably not.
Oh, okay. So another break after this. All right.
Yeah.
Tonight's Southside Maverick football game is being brought to
Tell
you
you
in
what,
part
the music
by
they
La
play
Herta
here
Grill.
is much
La
different
Herta
than
serves
we play
the
back
best
home.
Mexican food anywhere. Enjoy
I can tell.
fajitas with all the fixings for just $7.99. La Herta Grill's lunch specials are perfect if you're in a hurry. Only $3.99 for the Speedy Gonzales. Open Saturday through Thursday, 11 to 9. Fridays, 11 to 10. La Herta Grill, located on the corner of Old Greenwood Road in South Gary. A proud sponsor of Southside Maverick football.
Hail, Rocket Randola here. Crane Hyundai on Zero Street in Fort Smith. And you know what Crane Hyundai on Zero Street has that the other dealers don't have? The Crane Commitment. That's right. 100,000-mile warranty on every new and pre-owned vehicle sold. It's 100% low price guarantee and a 100-hour love it or leave it exchange policy. And Hyundai Assurance. Plus, Crane Hyundai lets you shop over 1,500 pre-owned cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs. If you're even thinking about a vehicle, you need to think Crane Hyundai Zero Street in Fort Smith.
First National Bank of Fort Smith has been committed to the community and their customers for a very long time. In fact, since 1872. You might say a few things have changed since then, but a couple of things at First National Bank have remained the same for the last 145 years. First National Bank is still locally owned with local decisions, so they know that their commitment continues. They're proud of the past and excited about the future. First National Bank of Fort Smith, member FDIC.
River Valley Truck Outfitters has served Western Arkansas and the River Valley area with a commitment to quality and excellence unmatched in the truck accessories industry.
Okay.
Whether you need step bars,
How are we doing
diesel
on commercials?
products, camper shells, or wheels and tires.
Oh, I don't know why you asked me that. You should already know.
You should see the chart. He's got an Excel spreadsheet printed on. He's got 3 different color highlighters.
And customer service is always number one.
Welcome back to Quigley Field and Quigley Stadium in Bernie Cox Field. And Bernie Cox, that's a name from the past. He coached here forever, it seemed like, and had some really good Central teams down here, Bo. I remember the year they had Freddie Fairchild and that group. They actually, I think Dedrick Pearl was on that team, and that was the team that most people don't know that everyone talks about the Springdale 5 with Mitch Mustaine and that group. They actually beat them in the semifinals, Central did, and went on to win the state championship.
Yeah, you're right. And Dedrick Poole, of course, you remember what kind of runner he was and went on to have a great career. So that's some talent on that team.
As you look at the first half for Southside, Bo, it was a first half that was interesting in the fact that it was a slow start for the most part getting going, but once they got going, it seemed like they kind of found their niche. And what I like about this Southside group, if one thing's not really clicking that well, we weren't really connecting a lot in the big passing game. We went back to the running game, and I think it made a difference in the first half.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we talked throughout the year what kind of weapons that this team has and really who's going to be the one that steps up in each particular game. It seems like this game is going to be Ricardo Savoy. We'll see what happens in the second half, but you're absolutely right. I mean, it was a record week last week, and Tyrese Solomon and running free, and Gatewood throwing it all over the field, and Jordan Jackson, and then those guys have pretty much been stymied this week. And they say, well, if you shut that down, take that away, which Central's clearly trying to do, we're just going to hand the ball up the middle, and that's been working for him.
Yeah, and Gatewood's done a really good job with his feet tonight, too. He scored 2 touchdowns, but he's had 2 or 3 plays where he's made nice gains just tucking the ball in. And what I've liked about those plays, Bo, is the fact that his field vision, he'll try to take it up the middle, nothing there, he bounces it outside, is getting positive yardage. And really I'm seeing that with all 3 running backs tonight. They're doing a good job of using the blocking. And then the formations we talked about in the first half, bringing Leighton Johnson, we're looking out there, and here's a man in motion. I'm thinking, what's number 48? He's coming in to be the blocker. They're bringing him in as a seal to the inside, so they're always bouncing off of that, getting nice gains.
Yeah, it was something unique, something we hadn't seen. I mean, we're used to them kind of either bringing Tyrese across the field, maybe faking the jet sweep, or doing that with Ulrich, but they, doing it with Leighton Johnson is throwing a new wrinkle in, something we hadn't seen. It's really been effective so far, and I mean they've really impressed me the way they play. As you mentioned, we had a slow start, we struggled a little bit, and I think, I kind of think everybody was a little surprised. We expected really to pick up right where we left off and be able to just kind of run all over these guys, and we weren't able to do that, so we adjusted, made some really good adjustments, started running the ball, and it's worked out for us.
As you look at, as we go into the second half here, again, we're at the half, Southside leads 20-14. What do you think the Mavericks will do here in the second half? Do you think they'll pretty much try to stick with the bread and butter, maybe try to run the football, or do you think they'll maybe run the football, maybe set up the long passing game?
Yeah, I think that's what they're going to do. I think they're going to start off on the ground, picking up where they left off as it goes into halftime, and then as the linebackers for Central, and we've seen them kind of blitzing, doing some run blitzing, kind of trying to stop us up the middle. As they do that more and more, it's going to open up some big holes, I think, for Jordan and Tyrese, and we'll see them maybe do some things through the air. But number one thing you got to do coming out of half, they're getting the football. You got to stop them on defense. And, our defense, we've let them score 14 points. That's pretty good. I think we tightened up like we did in the second half against Catholic, and we're going to come away with a win in this ballgame.
Again, with the half, Southside leads 20-14. Be back with the second half kickoff after this. Listen to Southside Maverick Football on Spirit 106.3.
What happened to paying one price and getting everything included? You buy an airline
yes,
ticket
sir,
and
after this we will have 19 commercials.
And you're shelled
Cool.
out for Wi-Fi and overpriced bottled
So I think it'll be all right.
Really? Imagine my delight when I found out roadside assistance is now included with my shelter insurance auto policy. So if I get a flat tire and need a jump, I just call and they take care of me. There's no additional cost, but some restrictions apply.
Ask Shelter Insurance Agent Chris Dooley about a free auto insurance review.
All offers with a group courtesy dealer details. Hey, old Rocket Randola here, Crane Hyundai on Zero Street in Fort Smith. And you know what Crane Hyundai on Zero Street has that the other dealers don't have? The Crane Commitment. That's right, 100,000-mile warranty on every new and pre-owned vehicle sold. It's 100% low price guarantee and 100-hour love it or leave it exchange policy. And Hyundai Assurance. Plus, Crane Hyundai lets you shop over 1,500 pre-owned cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs. If you're even thinking about a vehicle, you need to think Crane Hyundai Zero Street in Fort Smith.
South 28 Boutique is your source for local and authentic labels such as the complete Warren James collection, Southern Tide, and Rustic Cuff. They offer tailgating hogwear for the entire family and menswear. Join their VIP texting to earn points for savings on the labels you love. And teachers always get 10% off the total purchase price. Download the South 28 app and save 20% off any one item with free shipping. Located at 418 North Plaza Drive, Van Buren. Call or text 719-2019.
A largemouth bass tearing at your bait, mallard circling above, dawn breaking through your tree stand. It's the outdoors that you love. Tackle boxes, hunting and fishing gear for what you love to do. The adventure starts at the tackle box for sportsmen just like you.
For all of your hunting and fishing needs, head to the Tackle Box, 3001 South Zero Street, Fort Smith. Call the Tackle Box today at 646-3193. Hello, radio listener. Are you enjoying the football game tonight? How would you like to be sitting in the warm, relaxing, and highly beneficial swirling waters of your own hot spring spa? A spa can be both relaxing and fun, and a great end to an exhilarating football game. So hurry into Burton Pools and Spas at 6121 South Zero to check out the great deals on pools and spas. Burton Pools and Spas. Let them show you how to get your feet wet without getting in over your head.
Tyler Wilson here for Crabtree RV in Alma. Football season is here, and whether you're tailgating with the Razorbacks or enjoying the great outdoors, Crabtree can help you experience the natural state. Our giant indoor showroom makes shopping enjoyable with hundreds to choose from. You're sure to find the right RV for any budget. Like the 2018 KZ Sportsman Fifth Wheel starting at $245 a month, or the 2018 Coachman Freedom Express as low as $210 a month. We're behind the Cracker Barrel in Alma, Crabtree RV, where your family's dreams come true.
Hey, tonight's game is brought to you in part by Crane Hyundai in Fort Smith. Visit them online at cranehyundaifortsmith.com. Just about ready to start the second half here as the Mavericks will kick off to Little Rock Central. Southside leads here at the half 2014. And Bo, it's one of those games too that I know you have that little talk over there about making sure that you know, your playoff lives are on the line each week now, and I think Southside will come out here in the second half, and hopefully something you talked about in the first half I hope will happen is the fact that maybe by being there and run the football like they did, maybe they will be able to wear down that Tiger defensive line.
Yeah, you hope so, and I think it will, and you're right, Keith. I mean, we talked about earlier how important this game was. You really got to win this one and the next one, so you're half away from setting up a huge game against your Northside rivals next week. So you take care of business for a half, and you set up a big game for not only playoff berth, but probably hosting a game in the playoffs.
Connor Robles will kick off for Southside to start the second half. Donald Richardson along with Antonio Westbrook will be deep for the Central Tigers. They'll stand on their own 10-yard line as Robles tees the ball up. Just about ready to start the second half here, and Bo, it's really a good night for football. Got a little bit of cool weather here, but I think it's almost perfect.
Yeah, it really is. I know it's great for those players on the field who are running out. It's a little cold for us, but it's nice football weather.
Here's a kickoff. Going to come down to Richardson at the 5-yard line. He crosses the 10-yard line. Is at the 15 off the right side, gets to the 20, across the 30, up to the 33-yard line. That's where Central will start their first drive the second half at the 33-yard line.
Yeah, it was a really good return by Antonio Brown. Started up the middle and found some room over on the far side of the field.
That was kind of interesting. They started Donald Richardson at quarterback first 2 plays of the game, and then they brought in Jacob Howard for the rest of the first half. Has done a very good job at quarterback, and he'll start the second half here at quarterback with Keelan Holloway as his running back. Trip set wide side of the field. Here's a back snap. Southside recovers.
Absolutely.
They pick it up. They're going to the end zone. That's coming back to touchdown Southside.
Wow, it looked like Martez Gaston jumped on it. I thought the ball was down. I guess it sprayed right up into Cameron Belcher's hands. He caught it on the hop and raced to the end zone. Excellent play by the Maverick defensive line and linebackers.
I saw the ball on the ground. It looked like Southside recovered that play. It popped up to Cameron Boucher. He runs it in the end zone. Big play. Great start for the Mavs in the second half.
Yeah, we talk about holding them and getting the ball back. Well, how about a turnover and a scoop and score? That's even better. Couldn't have asked for anything better.
And Southside looks like they may go for two here. They've still got Tay Gatewood in the ball game. What's interesting, had to get the football back. Cameron Boucher back on football on the sideline. And in high school football, I think it's okay in the pros to keep the football, but you'll have to give the ball back. That was a 32-yard fumble recovery return by Cameron Boucher for the Southside touchdown. As now they lead 26-14. And you talk about death blows. That could be one for Little Rock Central. Southside's going to go for two here as Gatewood takes a snap, rolls to the right, will keep it, and will be tackled in the backfield at the 5-yard line. That's Joseph Lewis making the play defensively for the Tigers. Southside a quick 6 on the first part of the second half, lead 26-14. Be back with the Maverick kickoff after this. This is Southside Maverick football, Sport 106.3.
Mavericks 26, Tigers 14.
Well, that was good.
Mallard circling above. On breaking through your tree stand, it's the outdoors that you love. Tackle boxes, hunting and fishing gear for what you love to do. The adventure starts at the tackle box for sportsmen just like you.
For all of your hunting and fishing needs, head to the Tackle Box, 3001 South Zero Street, Fort Smith. Call the Tackle Box today at 646-3193.
Well, that's a great way to start the second half. A 32-yard fumble recovery by Cameron Belcher for the Southside touchdown on the first play. It looked like the quarterback, Jacob Howard, had trouble taking the snap. Looked like maybe he looked off and lost the snap. Southside picks it up, runs it in for a touchdown. They can't make the two-point conversion. Now lead 26-14, 11:43 to go here in the third quarter as Carl Rebels will check in again to kick the ball away. Back deep will be Antonio Westbrook along with Donald Richardson.
Yeah, and I really don't think it was a bad snap. It hit him in the hands. He just kind of wasn't paying attention.
Rebels kicks off here. It's going to be a deep kick this time. Will come down again to Richardson at the 5-yard line. He crosses the 10. We'll go back to the left side. At the 15 is going to be hemmed in. At the 15, gets away across the 20 to the 23-yard line. Excuse me, that's Antonio Brown in there. Number 4 will be Paul Brown at the 23-yard line. And Southside special teams, that's Leighton Johnson getting off the power for Southside. Has played great here tonight, Bo.
They have. They've played very well. Been great in kick coverage. And, you know, I give some credit to Ryan Tucker making it down there in pursuit. He didn't make the tackle ultimately, but he pushed the returner out to the sideline and able to force him to stop his momentum so the other Mavericks could get there.
Be first and 10 for Central at their own 23-yard line. Southside leads 26-14. Jacob Howard, your quarterback. Keelan Holloway, your tailback, as Howard takes a snap, hands the ball off to Holloway. Holloway gets across the 25 up to the 29-yard line, gain of 6 on the play, brings up second down, 2nd and 4 for the Tigers.
Just some good, tough running in the interior of that line. Some good blocking by the Tiger offensive line.
Again, second down, 2nd and 4 for the Tigers. Again, Howard in the backfield along with Holloway. They go 2 receivers wide side of the field, 1 receiver short side of the field, and now going to be a motion penalty on Little Rock Central. And Central definitely getting that kind of start that maybe the Mavs had in the first half coming out of the gate. And Southside really, since about, I'd say midway second quarter on, have controlled this football game.
Yeah, they really have. They're playing good. You know, after kind of stuttered a little bit at the start, they really pulled it together and started doing some things they wanted to do.
There's a flag still on the ground.
I think he'll realize in a minute. He's about to step on it.
As they're waiting on the play, he's marking something out over there, not sure what. And yeah, the referees look like maybe the Broad Knight kicked his flag. So we'll see what goes on here. Now gets a flag in pocket. It'll be second down, 2nd and 9 for the Tigers. Howard takes a snap, hands the ball off to Holloway. He's in the backfield. There's Cameron Belcher back there. Also leading the charge for the Southside defense is Luke Richardson. Combined on the tackle for a loss of yards. They'll bring the ball. Well, they'll spin them out back at the 20. They'll call it the 23-yard line. We'll bring up 3rd down, 3rd, and let's call it 10.
Yeah, it was an excellent play by the Mavericks. Central tried to run it up the middle again, and there was nowhere to go in there.
This time Central will go with no backs in the backfield. Howard, your quarterback. Trip set wide side of the field. He looks that way, throws the ball over. It's going to be intercepted. It's intercepted by John Coleman. He gets the 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown Southside.
What a play by Coleman, and that was another one. We missed an opportunity earlier where the ball hit the receiver in the hands and popped up. This time, Coleman wasn't going to let him get away. He was in the right place at the right time, caught the ball, and was off to the races.
And ball that was set up by the defense, really stepping up big again, putting Central in a 3rd and long situation.
Yeah, it was 3rd and long. You knew what they were going to have to try to do. We were ready for it, had the right defense dialed up, and that's 2 series for Central, 2 scores by the Maverick defense.
And Southside this time will go attempt the extra point as they now lead 32-14. Boy, what a turn of events. We're not even 2 minutes in, 2 defensive touchdowns.
Yeah, what a great start out of halftime. You can't ask for anything better than that out of your Maverick defense.
Robles kicks the extra point. It's up, and it's good. 10:15 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Southside now leads 33-14. Be back with the Maverick kickoff after this. This is Southside Maverick football on Sport 106.3.
Hey, old Rocket Randola here. Crane Hyundai on Zero
This is
Street in
crazy.
Fort Smith. And you know what Crane Hyundai on Zero Street has that the other dealers don't have? The Crane commitment. That's right. 100,000-mile warranty on every new and pre-owned vehicle sold. It's 100% low price guarantee and a 100-hour love it or leave it exchange policy. And Hyundai Assurance. Plus, Crane Hyundai lets you shop over 1,500 pre-owned cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs. If you're even thinking about a vehicle, you need to think Crane Hyundai Zero Street in Fort Smith.
Welcome back. There was a 32-yard interception return by Jalen Coleman for the Southside touchdown. The second defensive touchdown here early in the second half. The first part of the second half was a 33-yard fumble recovery return by Cam Belcher. Southside now leads 33-14. As the Mavs will kick back off to Little Rock Central. Back deep will be Antonio Brown along with Antonio Westbrook. Here's a kick. It's a short kick, and it's fumbled at the 13 by Sane. Picks it up at the 10-yard line. He's going to try and run outside. He's going to be hit and dropped just short of the 20-yard line. Again, a great job by special teams. And both, that's the key here in the second half has been the special teams have been coverage. Victories for special teams are the kicking team inside the 20-yard line, the receiving team outside the 20-yard line. So far, Southside's done a good job here winning those battles.
Yeah, they put Central in some tough spots, and it just feels like, the momentum has certainly swung in our direction. This Central Tiger team just can't seem to get going in the second half.
Here's a handoff. No, it's a keeper by Howard up the middle, crosses the 20. We'll get up the 25-yard line. There's a fumble on the play.
Southside jumping up and down like they have it. I couldn't see who jumped on it. We got it.
This gets off the power with the ball. That is Cam Belcher recovering the fumble for Southside. Southside out 1st and 10 at the Central 24-yard line, and the wheels are coming off for the Tigers tonight here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, that's 3 series, 3 turnovers. We talked about how important turnovers were last week. We had 4 against the Rockets, and this Southside defense has come out of the locker room ready to play some football.
But it feels good to you. This defense has really struggled. They've really kind of put together the last 2 to 3 weeks, but it's just great to see these kids get these opportunities to make these plays. It feels good because you see the work that goes in with this team. As Gatewood wants to throw the ball, he's going to throw the ball down the sideline, wide open receiver. That's Ulrich inside the 10. Will be pulled out of bounds at about the 7-yard line. Be 1st and goal for the Mavs.
Yeah, they had Ulrich in the slot. They had Jordan Jackson on the far side, and he ran sort of a post, and Ulrich then came out underneath him to the sideline, and the ball actually was a little bit off target. Ulrich had to reach up to catch it and slowed his momentum. He might have made it almost to the end zone if he could have caught it in stride.
The 1st and goal for the Mavs at the 7-yard line is Ulrich will be your tailback. They'll go 2 receivers wide side, 1 short side of the field. They go strong left with Leighton Johnson at fullback as Gatewood looks to get the signals from the sideline. They go strong right this time. They bring Johnson in motion. Had a ball to Ulrich up the middle. Is going to be hit and will fall forward maybe to about the 6-yard line. Gain of 1, brings up 2nd and goal at the 6-yard line.
I'll tell you what, Tanner Barrett, the linebacker, came in on a stunt blitz, and he was in the backfield. As soon as Gatewood was handing the ball, Ulrich did good to make him miss.
Bo asked this question. 2 defensive touchdowns the first 2 series for Central. Then they fumble the 3rd series. How does the Central defense, you can't be happy going out on the field knowing you've already given up 14 points in bad field position just to start the second half. Again, 2nd goal Southside. Here's a handoff to Savoy. We'll get down to the 1-yard line.
Yeah, it's really put the Tiger defense in bad position.
Actually,
against the wall.
Excuse me, that's actually Ulrich on the carry down to the 1 yard line, and
I really like that play. They ran the read play, and Ulrich and Gatewood kind of ran together. Gatewood was waiting to see if he wanted to hand the ball off, and ended up handing it off at the end.
And this is interesting. Southside too, 10 players on the field as both Ulrich and Savoy out on the field. Here's a keeper by Gatewood is going to be hit as he drops to the 1 yard line, and somebody should have been on the field on that play, if I counted the numbers correctly.
Well, now you got me counting them, and I can't keep moving around. Tell them to hold still down there.
I thought 11. I'm sorry, there's 11 out there now. It's checking in the ball game for Southside will be Eric Schwartz at receiver for the Mavs, and checking back in will be Savoy. It'll be 4th down, 4th and 2 at the central 2 yard line. Southside can pretty much, amazingly, here 4 minutes in the second half, can put this game away, possibly with a touchdown. Gatewood takes a snap, and now we've got a whistle on the play. And
thinking this is
going to be offsides. It's going to be offsides, I think. Yeah, offsides on Central.
Yeah. Well, we get a yard out of it. We'll take it. It makes our job a little easier. It looks like they were going to run a little play action with Gatewood rolling out to his right. I imagine it probably wasn't going to be, he wasn't going to throw the ball. He was probably going to run it into the end zone.
Southside will check in. This is an interesting package, Bo. They're going to check in Leighton Johnson, and also checking in the ball game for Southside for blocking purposes will be Wally Zaman, a junior tackle, and they'll have those two line up as fullbacks in the backfield for Gatewood. Gatewood takes a snap. He runs the football. He's going to get down the end zone. Touchdown, Southside.
A good run by Gatewood. He was moving when he hit that hole. You could tell that play, I mean, it wasn't a huge hole, but he was going to do everything he could to get it into the end zone. I think he kind of knew what you were saying just a second ago. If we punch it in here, we basically put this one away. I mean, still, even with the fourth quarter and half the third quarter yet to play, it just feels like this one's getting out of reach for the Tigers.
Well, Bo, the thing you have to say, too, is the fact that you're really changing the way that Central can play here the rest of the ball game down 39-14. They really have to try to put the ball in the air. And I think the quarterback, Jacob Howard, his confidence has got to be shot with an interception and 2 fumbles. Here's the extra point attempt. It's up. And it's no good. Wide left. We've got 7:39 to go here in the third quarter. Southside now leads 39-14. Be back with the Maverick kickoff after this. This is Southside Maverick Football on Sport 106.3.
Get excited about the most important meal of the day at the Egg and I restaurant. The Egg and I serves up delicious, fresh, quick-to-order breakfast, brunch, and lunch entrees, all in a friendly, clean atmosphere. You'll love their healthy choices and fresh juices so much you'll want to sign up for the Egg Club loyalty card to earn free meals and coupons, or plan your next meeting in their meeting room. So now that you're egg-cited, make plans to visit the Egg and I restaurant at 3801 Planters Road. Call 242-3447. Open 7 days a week from 7 a.m. to 2:30 p.m.
Welcome back. That was a 24-yard five-play drive for the Mavs after the fumble recovery by Cameron Belcher. There's a 1-yard touchdown run by Tay Gatewood to increase the Southside lead to 39-14, 7:39 to go here in the third quarter. And Boyd has been a blitz, 20-14 1/2, 19 unanswered points thanks to the Southside defense.
Yeah, absolutely. 2 turnovers for scores, and then another turnover deep in their territory that leads to a score.
Here's a kick by Robles. Will be a deep kick. Will drive Westbrook back, fumbles it into the end zone, and
I'll tell you what, nothing can really go right for these Central Tigers.
I got to question this. Okay, let me ask this. Okay, I know it's a dead ball in the end zone, but he touched the ball on the 3-yard line.
Yeah, he touched the ball, it hit him, and then rolled back into the end zone. It was well out of the end zone.
Yeah, so I guess it's a muff, and the ball goes in the end zone, which is really good for Southside. Central starts this drive on their own 20-yard line. Again, 7:36 to go here in the ball game. Southside leads 39-14. As a shell-shocked Jacob Howard, your quarterback, will set his team up. They go 2 receivers split each side of the field. As Howard takes a snap, he wants to throw the ball, looks down the field. Here comes the pressure, rolls to his right, will throw the ball, and it's going to be incomplete. He saw an open receiver at about the 31-yard line. That was Zion Sane. He throws the ball on the run, throws it away, will bring up 2nd down, 2nd and 10.
Yeah, he had an open receiver there about 10 yards away and threw it behind him, and that was really a function of the pass rush for the Mavericks. He couldn't really stop and set his feet and complete the throw because he was going to get hit from behind if he did. So excellent job by that Maverick D-line.
It'll be second down, 2nd and 10 for the Tigers at their own 20-yard line. Howard takes a snap, hands the ball off to Holiday. He's at the 30-yard line, at the 35, at the 40. Will be tackled at the 47-yard line by Bennett Wandell, who saves a touchdown on the play as Holloway finds an opening up the middle. They'll spot the ball at the central 49-yard line.
Well, I'll tell you what, you said we're going to have to take another game plan. They're going to have to put it in the air, and then they break off a long run right there. And I was holding my breath. Looks like he was going to take it to the house, but credit Wandell for getting over there, and as you said, stopping a touchdown with that tackle.
Here's a quick slant pass by Howard at midfield. He's at the 45, at the Southside 40. Will be knocked out of bounds. On the catch over there is Rajon Brewer at the Southside 29-yard line. And, well, that's the thing you don't want to run. Yeah, you're ahead 39-14, but you also don't want to give Central Wayne life by any means.
No, you don't want to give them any momentum, and they're showing some signs of life as they're putting together a good drive. If you can,
a good drive.
Yeah, quick drive. Hadn't eaten anything off the clock. So that if you want to let them back in it, this is how you do it.
It'll be 1st and 10 for the Tigers at the Southside 29-yard line. Howard takes a snap. He wants to throw a quick swing pass out, complete. That's May. He's going to be hit. A nice defensive play over there for Southside. Making the play is Bennett Wandell. Will be a gain of 2 on the play. Brings up second down, 2nd and 8 for the Tigers.
Well, that's 2 good tackles in space by Bennett Wandell. One to save a touchdown and one to hold him right here for short gain.
Again, second down, 2nd and 8 for the Tigers. Kind of slowed it down just a bit. A quick drive here. They started this drive on their 20-yard line. This is the 4th play of the drive at the Southside 27-yard line. Howard has one back in the backfield. That's Jacorian Whitaker.
Oh, they must have moved. I see the Mavs clapping.
I believe that was 71 may have moved on the play. That'll bring it back 5 yards.
Well, what happens is, it seems like every other play they're trying to draw us off sides, and they were able to do it successfully 3 times in the first half, but Mavericks have tightened up, and they're not jumping off sides, and what it's doing is causing the Central Tiger offensive line to flinch.
Be second down, 2nd and 13 at the Southside 32-yard line. As Howard looks over the defense, they go trip set wide side of the field. One back in the backfield, that's Jacorian Whitaker. They'll start the play clock as Howard takes a snap. He throws a quick slant pass over the middle. Intercepted. It's intercepted by Southside, but it's Bennett Wandell. The Bennett Wandell drive out there, ball. He gets the touchdown saving tackle, makes another great play, intercepts the ball.
Well, if you're Jacob Howard right now, you're going to have a conversation on the sideline with your receivers, because that's 2 interceptions in a row that have been caused by receivers not catching the ball. Both the times it hit them right in the hands and popped up into the air. The last time, who was it? Jalen Coleman happened to be in the right spot, and this time it was Bennett Wandell.
Yeah, a third time too in the first half when D.D. Smith almost had an interception too. So it's and also what plays into it a bit too. It's this is really the first Colorado game that anybody's had this year, and
you're exactly right. And it's a lot different catching a cold football versus catching the football that's been sitting around in 75 degrees.
That's when it's nice when you can run that football.
Oh yeah, absolutely, because you don't have to worry about throwing an interception.
The 1st and 10 for the Mavs. They'll start this drive on their own 24-yard line. That is 4 turnovers here in the second half for the Central Tigers. Yearwood calls out signals, has Savoy in the backfield. Here's a snap. Here's a handoff to Savoy off the right side. He's got open running room. He's at the 30-yard line. Off the 35, he's at the 40-yard line, 32-yard line. Good hard run by Ricardo Savoy, who was tackled by Antonio Brown. Brown tried to reach around and knock the ball loose, which I think is the right thing to do, but by doing that, Savoy gets an extra 5 yards.
Yeah, sometimes you just have to square up and stop the man. It was a great run off tackle, and Savoy just kept stringing it out, and he's so fast. Once Brown got there, it was too late.
The 1st and 10 for the Mavs at the 41-yard line. They started this drive on their own 23-yard line, thanks to the Bennett Wandell interception. They'll go strong right with Leighton Johnson working fullback, Ricardo Savoy your tailback. 2 receivers split wide side of the field, as now man in motion from right to left is Leighton Johnson. Here's a handoff again to Savoy. Savoy has an opening again, crosses the 45. Will fly forward to almost midfield, just short of the 50-yard line. Will gain 9 on the play, brings up second down, 2nd and 1 for the Mavs. 5:38 to go here in the third quarter. Southside leads 39-14.
Well, Savoy is having himself a game. That kid's breaking tackles. He's running tough out there. You go back to that interception, Keith. How big was that? The Tigers were moving the ball. It seemed like momentum was kind of shifting in their favor, and then big interception just change the complexion of the
It's
game.
quick move, because they were quick down the field. They get some quick points. You got a ball game. Again, it'll be second down, 2nd and 1. Here's a handoff again to Savoy. Has the Southside first down as he crosses midfield, gets down to the Central 46-yard line. I think right here, Bo, if you're Southside with this great defensive onslaught here in the second half, you're going to be happy just to run that football.
Absolutely. There's no reason to put it in the air. You never know what can happen. You had the success that your offensive line is having, moving the ball on the ground. I think you keep it there and just eat away clock and put this game away.
Southside goes trip set, wide side of the field, one back in the backfield. That'll be Savoy, lines up to the left of Gatewood. Now he switches from left to right as Gatewood calls out signals, takes a snap. It's a handoff to Savoy up the middle. Will cross the 45 down to the 42-yard line, gain of 4. The play brings up second down, 2nd and 6 for the Mavericks.
I tell you what, it was only a 4-yard game, but there was a huge hole over there for a second until it closed quickly. But once again, the offensive line for the Mavs is playing great right now.
And that's the thing about Central, though. Give them some credit. There have been a lot of holes that they've closed quickly on that you're thinking there's a big hole there, and they make the play. So this defense for Central, in spite of the Southside onslaught here in the third quarter, is still trying to play hard. It'll be second down, 2nd and 6 for the Mavs. Here's a handoff to Savoy off the right side. We'll cut it back inside. We'll get inside the 40 down to about the 35-yard line. Should have another first down. They're still moving the pile over there. Ricardo Savoy, another great run.
Yeah, he was running tough. And there was about 11 guys on each side of the pile right there, and it kept moving forward. I thought they were going to blow it dead about 10 seconds before they did.
I think what you talked about, Bill, is starting to take fruition right now is the fact, I think, that two things playing the factor on the Central defense. Down 20-14.5, you had the big turnovers for 3 quick touchdowns for Southside. I think the defense being on the field, getting run at, and the score now has really kind of changed their mental attitude as well as their physical ability to make plays.
Yeah, I mean, it gets tough. You get tired, but also mentally it's so tough.
Here's a handoff again to Savoy off the left side. We'll try to cut it back outside. We'll get inside the 33, maybe 32-yard line. And they'll check Ulrich in the ball game for Savoy. Let him try to carry load a bit. It'll be second down, 2nd and 7 for Southside.
Well, we know how great a runner Ulrich is, and Savoy, he probably just needs some oxygen right now. He's been running great in there.
No, what's interesting too, Bo, is we look at 2 different weeks. The passing game so great last week. It wasn't there this week. I think conditions had a lot to do with it in the Central defense with their pass rush, but they've gone to a running game now. Here's a handoff to Ulrich off the right side. Has an opening at the 25-yard line. Will hit a man at the 22-yard line, and he's tackled over there by Jonathan Jones, but I'll tell you what, Brandon Ulrich, not a big kid, lowers that shoulder and gets an extra 2 yards.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked over and over again about how hard a runner he is and how hard he hits the hole. And at the end of that run, Jones come over, and he's probably going to be shaking the cobwebs out because Ulrich really put a hit on him.
This is the kind of drive that the doctor ordered. Let's give Bennett Windell credit on the last series. We talked about that, making the touchdown-saving tackle on Holloway. And then getting the interception to snuff out the drive. But Southside started this drive on their own 23-yard line. 8 plays later at the 23 of Central. Here's a keeper by Gatewood. He has an outside. He's at the 20. He's at the 15. He's at the 10. At the 5. Touchdown Southside.
Wow. I think
Gatewood, 23 yards, touchdown, Mavericks.
Eric Schwartz got hit in the back at the end of that play. You got to give him a lot of credit. He was the lead blocker over there at that wide receiver position, blocking the cornerback. That was the only man that Gatewood had to make miss at the end of that run, and he did it. And then a Tiger come over and hit him in the back after Gatewood got in the end zone, but no flag on that. Excellent run by Gatewood.
Rebels will come in to attempt the extra point for Southside. Well, if you had those extra points, we'd be in mercy rule territory right now.
Yeah.
Ball is down. Your kick is up. Your kick is good. We've got 2:34 to go here in the third quarter. Southside now leads 46-14. Be back with the Maverick kickoff after this. This is Southside Maverick football on Spirit 106.3.
What's your favorite thing about repeats plays?
2 minutes and 34 seconds, third quarter, Mavericks 46, Tigers 14.
Pinto beans, mashed potatoes and gravy, and the cornbread is phenomenal.
Great food, great friends.
I feel better
good
now.
time. That repeats place.
I told them, I said, if I had one last meal and I was on death row, I would have them cater that meal to me and it would be mine choice.
7830 Highway 71 South, open daily Monday through Saturday for lunch and dinner.
Welcome back. There was an 8-play, 77-yard drive for the Mavs, culminating with a 23-yard touchdown run by Tate. Gatewood Southside now leads 46-14. And Barry, I was just telling you during the break, I felt a lot better. 46-14 sounds a lot better than 2014. My, how things have changed here in the third quarter.
Absolutely. I mean, it looked like it was going to be a really tough second half going into halftime. You thought this was going to be a ball game, and wow, the Maverick defense just came out and played great and put this thing out of reach for the Tigers.
Connor Robles will kick the ball away for the Mavs. Antonio Westbrook along with Antonio Brown deep at their own 10-yard line. Here's a kick by Robles. Will be fielded by Brown, and he falls down at the 8-yard line.
I tell you what, when it rains, it pours for these Tigers.
Yeah, and you kind of get to a point, and I know you're not supposed to feel sorry for the other team, but we're kind of at a point right now where, boy, if it could go wrong, it's gone wrong here in the second half with 4 turnovers and.
Yeah, 4 turnovers, and all 4 have led to Maverick touchdowns. They fumbled the kickoff twice. One of them, the guy got back and got tackled. The other one went into the end zone, and then you see a guy catch the ball and slip straight down as soon as he catches it.
Be 1st and 10 at the 8-yard line for the Central Tigers, trailing 46-14, 2:30 to go here in the third quarter. Here's a handoff to Holloway. He's going to get to the 10-yard line and maybe across the 10, maybe 11. Holloway is one of the bright spots, I think, for Central tonight. This young man is a junior running back, and he's done a good job. He lowers that shoulder, and he runs low to the ground and hard to bring down.
Yeah, he has been. You're right. I would say him and Howard both. I think Howard's probably been a pleasant surprise over there for Scooter Register. We didn't really know what we were going to get out of this kid, but he's played pretty well. I mean, he had some interceptions. They haven't been his fault.
Here's a handoff to Holloway, but he is hit and dropped right at the line of scrimmage. Nice defensive play. Cam Boucher making the play for Southside. I believe that's Travis Chaffee, man. I'm trying to get the number over. That's number 90 for Southside making the play. That's Jeremiah Van Hook. And we've got an injury on the play. There's a Maverick down. With that injury, we'll take a timeout too. This is Southside Maverick football on Sport 106.3. Go into a minute.
Hi, this is Art Haynes from the Chiefs Radio Network.
Yes, sir.
Here for Play It Again Sports at 2817 South Zero Street in Fort Smith. Play It Again supports the Southside Mavericks. Mention this ad and receive 20% off your purchase that day of any new or used sporting equipment. They carry baseball, football, wrestling, disc golf, and fitness equipment.
Michael, I think we might be able to go ahead and make it 2.
Play It Again Sports, 2817 South
Alrighty.
Zero. Proud supporter of Southside.
Hal's Homemade Beef Jerky is known around the country for their fresh and delicious homemade beef jerky. For over 25 years, Hal's Homemade Beef Jerky.
Don't make it 2 now. He's up now.
Spices and flavors to dress
Okay,
your beef
so
jerky
just
to fit
send
your
it back to you?
taste buds.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's the perfect choice for homemade
So let me
food
see if I can find a,
store in Shady Point, Oklahoma.
I
Get
need
$45
a legal
when you
right
spend
here.
$40.
Okay.
Or order online at HalesHomemadeJerky.com.
Then I'll send it back.
Call 918-635-5759. Now accepting EBT. Your home for Portsmouth Southside football is Spirit 106.3. KZKZ, Greenwood, Fort Smith.
The injured man was Ryan Tucker, and Bo, it's good to see him walk off onto the field. Looks like he's okay on the sidelines. It'll be 3rd down, 3rd and 6 for Central at their own 12-yard line. Jacob Howard, the quarterback, takes a snap. He wants to throw the football. Here comes the pressure. It's a screen, set up nicely at the 15. He's at the 20, and good tackle there for Southside. He'll get the 1st down at the 20-yard line, but a nice defensive play for Southside. Maybe that was Cam Boucher again. Yeah, Cam Boucher making a play. But I got to ask you this question. I mentioned Cam Boucher. This young man in the last 5 or 6 ball games has just got better and better. Is he all conference?
I would say so. I mean, this guy's playing great. He's got a scoop and score this game, and you're right. It just seems like I don't know if he's leading us in tackles, but I'd be shocked if he wasn't.
Well, he's got an interception. He recovered a fumble. He picked up a fumble for a touchdown. Had a great game here. Central goes 2 receivers this side of the field. They want to go deep, throw it deep down the field. Have an open receiver off his fingertips. That big coverage by Jalen Coleman. Ball intended at the 50-yard line for Brazion Brewer. Will go incomplete. And they'll bring up 2nd and 10. And, Howard, I didn't think Brewer made just that great of an effort to even try to catch the ball.
That's what I was going to say. That was a really well-thrown ball by Jacob Howard. And he just kind of stuck his receiver didn't try to go up and get it. He just kind of stuck one hand up and knocked it down. I think if he jumps up and catches it with 2 hands, he has a chance to come down with it.
Bring up 2nd down, 2nd and 10 for the Tigers. 58 seconds to go in the third quarter. Southside leads 46-14. Here's a handoff to the running back. That's Holloway. Will be dropped at the 21-yard line. Making the play again for Southside. I believe that's Van Hook making the play defensively. Also getting up off the pile is Cameron Belcher.
That's Cam Belcher again, and he has stuck his hand up. One of his teammates helped him up. He's getting tired of making all those tackles.
They'll bring up third down, 3rd and 9 for the Tigers at the 21-yard line. As Howard calls out signals, 2 receivers each side of the field, 1 in the backfield. He looks at the sidelines to get the play. We're down to 8 on the play clock as Howard sets the team up and still looking to the sideline. In the backfield is Jacorian Whitaker. Here's a snap to Howard. Howard throws to the right. It's going to be incomplete. Dropped over there across the 30-yard line. That is Dejan Brewer, who was open on the play.
Well, Keith, I tell you what, I mean, these receivers from Central Tigers are not helping out their quarterback at all.
And Howard, you can see the frustration. He's still out there, and he's not the punter, is he? I mean, he hasn't been the one doing the punting. It's actually been Ty Barrett, but Howard's going to stand out there to punt the ball away this time. Back deep for Southside will be Jalen Coleman, stands at his own 46-yard line as Howard stands inside his 10. You can see the frustration because you're right, but he's made some good passes. Here's a snap to Howard. He'll punt the ball away. It's a low line drive kick that will be fielded by Coleman on one hop. He crosses midfield. Will get inside the 45. He's down to the 40-yard line. Good return and good play by Coleman. Should be a flag over there. Sane runs over the play. Sane should do it. We're going to scrum right now.
All right, boys. You got to calm down. This game is well in hand. I know the Tigers are probably getting frustrated. They're getting beat so bad in such an important game. But if you're the Mavericks, you just got to keep a cool head here. Get back on your own sideline.
Yeah, this penalty should be a pretty easy call. Sane really kind of overdid it on the sideline. We'll see what the call actually is going to be. As we're at the end of the third quarter, we'll come back with that call after this. Let the Southside know. Football is 406.3.
Penalty mark on the play.
Going to 2.
Hey, Maverick fans, this is Ethan Gamble.
2 minutes or 2 commercials?
2 commercials.
Football fans know some
Okay.
things just go together. Quarterbacks and receivers, base pain and super fans, game days and tailgates. At my State Farm agency, we know another winning combination, home and auto. My team and I are here to help life go right when you combine your home and auto insurance. It saves you time and money. So get your home and auto on the same team and score some savings. Call me at 479-783-2588.
South 28 Boutique is your source for local and authentic labels such as the complete Warren James collection, Southern Tide, and Rustic Cup. They offer tailgating hogwear for the entire family and menswear. Join their VIP texting to earn points for savings on the labels you love. And teachers always get 10% off the total purchase price. Download the South 28 app and save 20% off any one item with free shipping. Located at 418 North Plaza Drive, Van Buren. Call or text 719-2019.
Looking back at this, start the fourth quarter. Boy, that's an interesting call. They're going to call a unsportsmanlike conduct on both sides, but that was an easy call out there. Sane actually overdid it a bit, tried to rough it up with the Southside bench, and I'm assuming Southside gets penalized for coming off the bench, but that's just a play. It was a frustration play that really should have gone the other way. Nonetheless, Southside should have 1st and 10 at the 42. Actually, it was at about the 40. They're going to mark at the 42-yard line, and we'll see what they do here. That's kind of tough on the officials, Bob, because you're trying to figure out what to do. You've also got a change of possession going into the quarter. So
yeah, flips the ends of the field for the two teams, and the Mavericks, of course, they surrounded Sane, and then all the rest of the punt team for the Tigers came over, and then about, I would say a dozen or so of their players from the other side of the field looked like they were going to storm across the field there for a second.
And they're calling the penalty on South. Unbelievable.
Well, that's going to put us back on our own side of the field, and I don't know how you make that call, Keith.
You don't make that call because it was obvious what happened. Central started the whole thing, and really the penalty should have ended right there. And I understand them calling it both ways, but that time they called it on Southside. Of course, that being said, we don't know what goes on down on the field. I know Southside was a bit heated, and really should have been. Now, Sane, he was acting out of frustration, but that being said, Southside, reacted back to it. I don't think they deserve 2 penalties as opposed to 1 on Central.
Yeah, no, I agree. They shouldn't mark it off against us. If it's offsetting penalties, the ball's spotted right where they were at.
And they may want to check on this. They may be marking the ball back because of the quarter change. I don't know. But anyway, nonetheless, Southside will start this drive on their own 42 instead of the Central 42. Gatewood still the quarterback, takes a snap here as they hand off to Ricardo. Savoy gets outside, crosses the 45-yard line, will get hit and knocked out of bounds at the 48-yard line. Will gain 6 on the play, brings up second down, second and 4 for the Mavericks. 11:50 to go here in the ball game. Southside leads 46-14.
And again, Ricardo Savoy running tough. He was hit at about the 43 and drug a defender an extra 4 yards.
He's second down, second and 4 for Southside, and obviously, I don't know that you'll see him even try to put the ball in the air here the rest of the ball game. Got this game pretty comfortable, 32-point lead here, and now we've got a whistle on the play. Not sure what this is. Now we're going to start the 25-second clock, so now they start the 25-second clock, and I guess he was run out of bounds on the play, so the game clock won't start as it's second down, second and 4 for Southside. Here's Savoy on the handoff. Will get up to midfield, and the thing is, too, this offensive line has played really well tonight for Southside. You watch Savoy, he's getting 1 or 2 yards before there's even any contact.
You're exactly right. Jonathan Humphrey, Wesley Schwartz, and the boys, they're having their way with the Tigers right now. And that's what you want, is the lead going into the fourth quarter, run the ball, and just put it out of reach. Tigers won't have a chance to get it back very many times in this fourth quarter, and they'll run out of time.
He third down, 3rd and 2 for the Mavs. As Gatewood looks over the defense, still has Savoy in the backfield. Here's a snap. Here's a handoff off the left side to Savoy. Cuts it back inside across the 45. Is at the 40, 35. Is tripped up at the 30-yard line. Touchdown saving tackle possible there by Tyler Barrett. Will be a first down for Southside. Savoy, big night tonight for the Mavs.
Absolutely, and that was a just amazing cut that he made. A stretch play out to the left. Linebacker was closing. He just cut right up underneath him and turned it upfield.
He first and 10. The ball be spot to the central 31-yard line. Against Savoy in the backfield, they go trips out right side of the field. Gatewood, the quarterback, works in the pistol formation. Shunter looks like they may come with an inside blitz here. Here's a inside blitz. They go outside to the right side. He's at the 25. That's Savoy at the 20-yard line. Will run out of bounds at the 20-yard line. We're getting 10 on the play.
Once again, it was a stretch play to the outside, and that was the right call because Central was coming to the inside to stop the inside run. There was a lot of green grass over on the far side of the field.
He first and 10 for the Mavs at the 20-yard line, and Bo, it's just really pretty much, I think you've got a deflated Central defense on the other side of the field right now, just trying to basically survive in there. Is really, they're just being cut up by Savoy, and when Savoy does run the ball, it seems like Gatewood is the man. It will be first and 10 at the Central 20-yard line. Here's a snap. Gatewood wants to throw the ball, and now we've got Wilson on the play. I think this may be, I'm going to take a guess, a procedure penalty. It looked like maybe Savoy moved to the line of scrimmage before the ball was snapped. We'll make it first down, first and 15 for Southside.
Well, it was first and 10, and we were about to take a shot at the end zone, and you and I talked about probably wouldn't pass it at all the rest of the way, and that's just what they were about to do.
Well, I think the theory on that is right now, you get in the mercy rule, get out of here.
Maybe so.
The tempos are kind of going there.
Yeah.
You definitely, the coaches did a great job of breaking everything up. I was watching the coaches right in the middle of it, getting between the players, and did a very good job. So maybe it's just time to try to wrap it up and get those points as Gatewood takes a snap, throws a pass out to Savoy. He's at the 25, at the 20. We'll get inside the 20, down to about the 19-yard line. Gain 6 on the play, making the play is Tanner Bird. Will be second down, second and 9 for Mavericks.
Yeah, and I tell you what, Savoy, I don't know if he did it on purpose or not right there, but he did a good job staying in bounds, keep that clock moving.
Second down and 9.
Be second 9 for the Mavs, 9:55 to go here in the ball game. Southside leads 46-14. Gatewood will set up again pistol formation. They'll go with Leighton Johnson in the backfield along with Savoy. They go strong right this time. Gatewood looks over the defense. Now Johnson goes right to left. Here's a handoff to Savoy up the middle, gets inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. We'll bring up third down, 3rd and 4 for the Mavs. But this is also a play too. If Southside doesn't get the first down here, third down, 3rd and 4, I mean, you're in field goal range. You're still going to get the same effect if you kick the field goal.
Yeah.
As Gatewood looks to the sidelines to get the signals, again, they'll go with 2 backs in the backfield. With Leighton Johnson will set up strong right this time. Savoy sets up on the left side of Gatewood. Gatewood takes a snap, wants to throw the football, throws a ball. It's going to be incomplete. Throws his receiver, Jordan Jackson, at about the 13-yard line.
Well, that was a weird play call, Keith. I mean, none of the Mavericks really got, the Maverick offensive line didn't even get down in the stance. It seemed like it was going to be a pass all the way.
It was going to be a hold on the Mavericks, and now that's what's been good about the second half here. That's the second penalty Southside's had here in the second half, and they had several in the first half, but they're playing a clean game here in the second half.
Yeah, I think they, especially defensive line, they were talked to at halftime about jumping off sides.
Yeah, and you don't see Sane, but I think they took him out of the ball game. We had a little scrum there at the first half. And they will take this penalty, and I think you're Southside now. You might as well try to air it out, maybe try to go to the end zone with it if you can.
Yeah, why not?
3rd down and 15.
Checking in the ball game will be Brendan Ulrich at Southside. Again, we'll go with that 2-back formation with Ulrich along with Ricardo Savoy. I like that combination, but they started it about, I think it was the Bryant game where they started going with that, having those 2 in the backfield, and it's really been successful using one as a decoy, finding the other one for big gains.
Yeah, you're exactly right. I mean, they're your two playmakers in the backfield, so if you can get them in the field, on the field at the same time, that's good.
Ulrich goes in motion as Gatewood wants to throw. Here's Savoy. He's at the 20, 15, he's at the 10, 5, touchdown Southside!
Well, once again, I have to give some credit to Mason Love out there blocking for Savoy to spring him for the touchdown. Good job at the wide receiver position. If you're going to be a good running team, you got to have wide receivers that block down the field, and that's exactly what he did right then.
And Bowen got a cowbell going.
Hey, that means you're going to the playoffs. You get the cowbell out.
Cowbell, daughter of a Mississippi State fan.
Yeah, that could be.
As Kyle Robles will check in for the extra point. Colton McBride on the hold. Ball is down, your kick is up, and it's partially blocked again. No good. Southside leads 52-14. Be back to the Mav kickoff after this. This is Southside Maverick football. Sport 106.3.
20 out of 10 is no good. 8 minutes, 37 seconds left in contest. Mavericks 52, Tigers 14.
I'll go into a minute.
Yes, sir.
At Shelter Insurance, we don't just insure your home, we insure all the memories that live inside. Ask your agent for details. Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Ask Shelter Insurance agent Chris Dooley about a free insurance review.
Floyd Trailer Honda, 3200 South Zero Street, Fort Smith, has been serving the River Valley for decades. A quality product and a commitment to customer service is what keeps people coming back. And Floyd Trailer Honda is a proud supporter of
By the way, we have 6 commercials left. That's 3 minutes.
Okay.
See the new Hondas arriving daily at Floyd Trailer Honda, 3200 South Zero Street, Fort Smith. Visit them online at trailerhonda.net.
Welcome back. That was a really nice drive for Southside as they went 58 yards in 6 plays. A 22-yard touchdown pass from Tay Gatewood to Ricardo Savoy. Southside now leads 52-14. Here's the kickoff. It's Phil inside the 10. He's at the 15. He's at the 20-yard line. At the 25. He's at the 30, the 32-yard line. That is Antonio Brown on the return for Central. We'll get it up close to the 35-yard line. That's where Central will start this drive. We're now in the Mercy Rule Bowl where I know the Green had 20-14 and a half at Southside will be at this point in the second half.
Well, especially not the way both defenses were playing well in the first half. You wouldn't have thought that would be the case, but really it was the defense of the Mavericks that put us in this position.
Southside will get a lot of new players in the ballgame as Jack Clark will check in at safety for the Mavs along with Jake Tyler. One corner will be Chase Reyna. Howard wants to throw the ball, will take it deep down the field, and on the coverage, they throw the ball down the field. That's Ron Maya on the coverage, and they're going to call pass interference on Southside, and that's interesting because he had his back away from the receiver.
Well, and the receiver fell down, and just the ball was thrown about 20 yards past him. I'm not sure it was even a catchable ball anyway. But nevertheless, here we are.
This has not been, there's been a lot of questionable stuff going out there that we haven't quite figured out tonight, but nonetheless, it's going to be a nice victory for Southside as they lead us from 52-14. Again, Howard, your quarterback, takes a snap. He wants to throw the ball, throws the ball. It's going to be complete. That's to Brown. Brown gets inside the 35-yard line, will be knocked out of bounds at the 35-yard line. But we're seeing a lot of new faces in there for Southside. Joseph Williams has checked in on the defensive line. They've got Taylor Carlin at linebacker for Southside now. Here's a snap. Howard will hand it off to his running back. That is DeCoy Whitaker will get to about the Southside 30-yard line. Brings up second down, 2nd and 5.
That's really good to see some of these young guys get a chance to play, get in there and see what they can do, kind of get ready for the future, get ready for next year, figure out what you got where on the defensive side of the ball.
Howard calls out signals, takes a snap, wants to throw a quick pass out. It's complete. That's Brewer out there at the 20-yard line. He's at the 15 at the 10-yard line. Will be knocked out of bounds inside the 10-yard line at the 5-yard line. Will be first and goal for the Tigers. 6:02 to go here. Continuous clock here for the rest of the ball game as Southside now leads 52-14. Also checking in the ball game, they've got Jonathan Gonzalez, a junior linebacker for Southside. Good to see these kids get a chance to get in the ball game here late. Howard takes a snap, will hand it off to Whitaker. Whitaker will get in the end zone. Touchdown Central.
Well, you got your second string defense out there, but they're still playing tough, and you know we're holding them to no points so far throughout the second half. Let them get into the end zone, but still think it's good to let some of these guys get some playing time.
Again, 5:34 to go here in the ball game, and yeah, but it's good to see you get some guys in there and get a chance to make some plays. And just what a great effort here in the second half by Southside, especially on the defensive side of the ball. Offense did what you're supposed to do. They scored every chance they had. Great combination, both offense and defense. Here's the extra point. It's up, and Alonzo's extra point is good. Our score now 52-21. Southside leads. Be back with the Central kickoff after this. This is Southside Valley Football Sport 106.3. Just do one.
Dr. Henry J. Udodge III
Yes, sir.
of Udodge Orthodontics has been a respected provider in our orthodontic care community since 1972. The top priority of their practice is to provide you the highest quality orthodontic care in a fun, friendly, and comfortable environment. They utilize the latest technological advances in building orthodontics to ensure that you receive the most effective care possible. Udodge Orthodontics, 782-3021. Go Mavericks!
Welcome back to action. That was a really nice drive for Central as they go 65 yards in 6 plays for the touchdown. It was a 5-yard touchdown run by Corey and Whitaker for the touchdown, cutting the Southside lead to 52-21, 5:34 to go in the ball game. And Bo, we got the Hounds team up now. I see Gatewood up there on the line expecting an onside kick from Santiago Alonzo.
Jordan Jackson up there. Bennett Wandell.
Alonzo does an onside kick, and it's going to be recovered. That's Jalen Coleman recovering the ball for Southside. They'll take over to the 45-yard line, and got a feeling that we're going to see some different players here on offense as I probably, I would suspect, check in the backup quarterback, Colton McBride, here to finish the ball game.
Yes, sir. We'll see. Well, they may let him air it out, just see what he can do. Maybe throw a short pass or something, but you got to expect him to maybe keep it on the ground and keep this, continuous clock anyway. So if you want to throw the ball, see what they can do, go right ahead.
McBride will check in, and working at tailback this time, they'll bring in Tristan Johnson. Will work at tailback. Johnson, 5'5", 145-pound, listed as a receiver. As McBride calls out signals. Takes a snap. It's a high snap. Here's the handoff to Johnson off the left side. He's going to be hit and falls forward across the 45 to the 46-yard line, where he's brought down on the play by Jalen Sasser. Will bring up second down, 2nd and 9 for the Mavericks.
I'll tell you what, I can tell Johnson, he's wearing a hoodie underneath this. You can see the top of it sticking out of his shoulder pads. You can't do that if you're going to play the running back, man. They'll grab a hold of that thing.
I was thinking at halftime he might not get in the ball game. Wasn't sure what was going to happen, but just a blitz here in the second half by the Southside defense really put this game away in the third quarter for Southside. We've got 4:10 to go in the ball game. Southside leads 52-21. Here's a handoff again. That's Johnson. Johnson will get across midfield. We'll get into central territory at about the 49-yard line. Good hard run by Tristan Johnson will bring up third down, third, and let's call it 4 for the Mavericks.
Well, that way, keep your feet moving and move the pile. And he's got a little advantage since he's so low to the ground. You know, he's already got that low center of gravity.
Third down and 4.
Big third down for Southside. Also checking the ball game at fullback is J.B. Campbell. He's a sophomore running back, and coaches are high on this young man. I think he's going to be a good one. Not real big by any means. You look at him, too. Mr. Campbell listed 5'6", 175.
Well, he's a little heavier, but lower to the ground.
Here's a snap to McBride. He's going to hand the ball off, and now we've got a whistle on the play. Going to be offsides on Little Rock Central, and that'll be a first down for the Mavericks. 3:13 to go here. Southside pretty much should be able to run the clock out, get out here with a big 7A Central victory tonight, Bo, and not sure it's close to pull off both, but it sure has helped.
Yeah, absolutely, and set up a big game for next week. And you know, we talked about it earlier before the game started. It really seems like these Mavericks are just kind of peaking at just about the right time.
Well, this group, you know, they could have a little adversity starting the ball game, got off to a slow start, but they really picked it up as the game went on. And when they came out in the second half, especially the defense, you know, first part of the second half, you get the fumble return for the touchdown by Cameron Belcher. And, you know, the second series, then you get Jalen Coleman's interception for the touchdown. So here's Johnson on the handoff. We'll get inside the 40-yard line, right at the 40-yard line. We'll bring up second down, 2nd and 6 for the Mavericks. 2:25 to go here in the ball game. Southside leads 52-21.
Yeah, it really makes it tough when your offense, when they do get the ball. I mean, you know, they fumbled. That led to a touchdown. Interception led to a touchdown. You know, your defense for the Central Tigers, you know, they're sitting there watching scoreboard pile, the points pile up, and they're not even out there to stop it. I mean, that's frustrating. That's demoralizing, and it really just, it's hard to overcome something like that.
You're going to be second down, 2nd and 4. Yeah, but getting that offsides penalty, too. When you had them third down, 3rd and 4, that was a big play. Here's a handoff to Johnson, going to be hit in the backfield and driven back at the 44-yard line. Going to lose 30 on the play. We'll bring up 3rd down, 3rd and 9.
Yeah, give Johnson a lot of credit. He's in there fighting, clawing, trying to push the pile, but there was just too many Tigers to bring him down.
Any chance we might bail out here? Just saying.
Well, Mr. McBride's hands are probably cold, so he may not be able to grip the football enough to throw it. I see him up there with the hands.
You know, we saw him play in the scrimmage game against Alabama. This young man's got a good arm. He can throw the football. He's played a little bit during the season, but he's a bit like a quarterback. Here's a handoff to Johnson off the left side, going to be tackled at the 44-yard line for no gain. We'll bring up 4th down. And we're down to 1:02 on the clock. Looks like they're going to let the clock run down. We've got 59 seconds on the game clock. They still have not started the 25-second clock yet, so Southside will probably have to run one more play pending the first down. If they get the first down, they can run the clock out. If not, they'll have to give the ball up with approximately 30 seconds on the clock.
Yeah, looks like it. Southside hasn't even got the play in yet, so they're taking their sweet time. Now McBride's kind of coming up to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, they're going to take a timeout here, it looks like. Or take the penalty. They may just take the penalty. I don't think it matters at this point. 26 seconds on the clock, and it'll be a 5-yard delay of game penalty on Southside as I move it back to the 49-yard line. And, you know, you can do what you want to do here, Bo. You can run the ball, just try to run the clock down or punt the ball away. Really, at this point, it doesn't matter. So
yeah, I think if you could do kind of one of those running rugby-style punts, maybe keep the ball up in the air for a few seconds.
And I'll go ahead and leave the offense out there as they're going to go ahead and start the game clock again, and they're going to let the clock run out, and that's going to be your ball game. Southside comes down to Little Rock, gets a big victory. Here's they're going to beat the Central Tigers 52-21. Be back to wrap it up after this. It's Southside Maverick Football, Sport 106.3.
First National Bank of Fort Smith has been committed to the community and their customers for a very long time. In fact, Since 1872, you might say a few things have changed, but a couple of things at First National Bank have remained the same for the last 145 years. First National Bank is still locally owned, with local decisions, so they know that
Just
their
run.
commitment continues. They're proud of the past.
Yes, sir. I'll just run all these commercials right now, and they can do one.
Yeah,